Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? The finals. We are in for the finals of the tournament. All three leagues. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of games I'm very much looking forward to watching. Hey, Winter, how's it going? Let me do a couple of live arena games just to warm up, and then we can get right into it. A lot of fun games lined up today. We have the finals of the Silver League, the finals of the Gold League, and then finally the semi-finals and the finals of the Platinum League. We will have the prediction contests, same as last time. Which also should be a lot of fun. So basically for each game, I'm gonna put a poll in, and then you can go join the Discord, type exclamation mark predict to join the Discord, and then you can make a prediction for every single game. And whoever makes the most predictions correctly at the end of the night is gonna win a gem pack. Last time LeMans was the one who won the gem pack. So let's see who wins it this time. Alright, let's go. Who am I banning here? Fabian, the safe ban. Hey Bachus, how's it going? Just playing a couple of warm-up games, and then we jump into the tournament finals and semi-finals. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. Alright, let's boost. I don't see any turn meter boost on that side. The problem is everybody has protected block damage except Empress. So I can take care of Empress right here and now. Let's do that. Alright, let me try to put block buffs on. I know I cannot steal anything, but block buffs is gonna help a lot. Also, block active skills got spread, which is fantastic. Fantastic indeed. I just need to put block passive skills now. Block active, lovely. And he gives up. Beautiful. 50 legendary materials, that's nice. I don't have another 50 to combine with it. I don't wait with relics, I just pull them. All right, so let's get into it. We basically have let's start with gold, right? Let's no, let's start with silver. What am I saying? All right, so let me swap this over. And of course I need to adjust the names and everything, because this is gonna be TreyTz against Brewmaster. I know Brewmaster's name always gets off the that's fine. And the score is of course gonna be 0 and 0. And this is Silver League. And there's going to be a best of 5 in this round. This is the final. It's going to be best of 5. So excited. I hope we get some close games. That's going to be the hope, basically. Let me check who was the person recording here. It was Trey. Okay, so Trey is going to be on the left. That makes sense. Let me create the poll. So guys, in case you want to join the predictions contest, all you have to do is head over to the Discord, right? And this is what we did last time. As you can see, LeMans was the winner last time. So every fight I am going to put in a poll. And in that poll, you can select who you think is going to win. And that's what we're going to do. So let's start off with the first poll. This is Silver Trey versus Brewmaster. Game 1. And we have Trey and Brewmaster as the options. Wait. So just head on over and vote for who you think is gonna win. And let me log in and see where I can see all the votes. Hey, LeMans. Guys, head on over to Discord, !predict. In the chat, we'll give you the link. And go and vote for who do you think is going to win game 1. And if we look at the game itself, it's going to be... should be fun. So, it's an interesting story. Trey has had a challenging route to the final. If you can see, he beat Freak 2-1, hard fought battle. This was one of the best games, I think, of the tournament. He also had a very close match with Gaijinn, and now finally he's competing against Brewmaster. Brewmaster, on the other hand, has had a decisive victories over both Polokane and Lord Shelm. So he's standing in with a score of 4-0. We can see that in general, Brewmaster has a 4.0 average blessings, which means that theoretically, on paper, he's the stronger account. Also, just how he's dominated. His go-to blessing being Brimstone is a bit weird. Maybe this is a typo. Favorite champion, he says Fabian. He also hates Fabian. Whereas for Trey, it's Hilvi and he hates Arbiter. The most picked champions for Trey is Hilvi, his Taras, and his Leonardo. And for Brewmaster, it says Leonardo and his Niamhe or Neve. So this should be very interesting. Is the exclamation mark not working in Twitch for some reason? Okay, I'll post it manually. It's weird. Nightbot is weird. It's working in YouTube but not on Twitch. So basically, this is the league overview so far, and I was putting this together earlier today, and it's quite interesting, the difference between the leagues. So in silver, the most picked is Leonardo, changes to Fabian in gold, and to Carnage in platinum. And the bracket shows how many times that champion was picked, basically. Most first pick changes as well. Arbiter in silver, Emrys, interestingly, in gold, and then Fabian is basically the most first pick in platinum. That's also what I see personally when I'm playing the live arena. And most banned also changes. It's basically almost the same as the most picked, except for Silver League, where Arbiter is the most banned because it's this kind of a speed race, right? In Gold, Fabian is basically the first most picked and most banned, and in Platinum, Carnage earns that right as well. Marechka, who had a 100% win rate in the first round, has dropped to 90%. Still a very good win rate if you pick Marechka on your team. Donatello has the highest win rate in silver, and Armand's in gold. And average blessings, as you can see, stagger quite significantly. This is pretty cool. We're going to jump into Trey versus Brewmaster. It's going to be a fun matchup. It's an underdog story. Trey has his work cut out for him. It's going to be an uphill battle. Brewmaster is a stronger account. He was also basically on the verge of being thrown into Gold League, essentially. So, Brewmaster, that is. And yeah, we're going to see if Trey is going to put up a fight. And that is what we will jump into. Predictions again, guys. Predictions are live. Go ahead and vote. Most people are voting for Brewmaster. If you want to have a chance to win a gem pack, just like LeMans did last time, go ahead and participate in the polls. Head over to Discord. Again, link is in the chat. And just vote for each and every game. In the end, I'm going to collect everything just like I did last time. This is a snapshot for the last time. As we can see, the total number of predictions were 17 from LeMans, Spielman, and Ravi. And LeMans got the most correct, which is why he did win the gem pack. He also posted about it, I think. If I go back, I remember he posted that gem pack as well. Okay, it's too much text. It's too much text. Ah no, there it is. There it is. So if you want to win just like LeMans, the gem pack, go ahead. Head over to tournament predictions, that's here, and then vote. With that said, let me load up the first game and we will get everything going. Just give me 1 second. Let me play this over and I will set everything up in the background. Alright guys, things are set up basically, and we have the first game, Brewmaster versus Trey. We are watching Trey's screen and Trey is jumping in against Brewmaster. Again, get your predictions on Discord. I am going to close off the poll once the drafting is done. So make sure you have voted in if you want to participate. The more you participate, the more chances you have of winning the gem pack. So please go ahead and do that. All right, so far it's 100% votes for Brewmaster, who people think is going to win the game. I am going to close the poll in a bit once these are done. So make sure you have voted before that. Spend it all trying to push plat. Nice. All right, so picks coming in. First pick from Trey is Hilvi. Again, Hilvi and Taras have been his go-to champions in the previous round, as well as his Leonardo, and that's exactly what he goes for over here as well. That's what we see. Brewmaster, also we saw that his Niamhe, his Neve, is one of his favorite champions. So there's the roster that we have in place. Trey is thinking of banning the Hilvi. Again, this is Silver League, which means that there are no champion restrictions, which means you can essentially run the same team again and again. We are going to see 5 battles at the most. It's a best of 5. Whoever wins 3 games wins. So it could be a quick one. It could be that 3-0 on either side, or it can go down to the wire and it can be like 2-2 going into the 5th game, and then whoever wins the 5th game wins. Let's see what we get. Let's start and see what the bans are coming in here. Hilvi gets banned from Trey and Donatello. So this is the roster, guys. This is here where I will close the polls in a second. Let's have a quick look. So Fabian is the lead. Hilvi gets banned on Brew's side, while Trey's Donatello gets banned. So Brewmaster is counting on lockout. He has banned the Donatellos to make sure Fabian's lockout is not destroyed. It is not countered. Now, Brewmaster, what he has going for him is also the damage mitigation in the form of Niamhe or Neve. And then he has a nuker in the form of Sanguine Maria, who is great against this Mercurial meta. Both of these opponents have researched each other well. They have prepped, and I am expecting a good showing from both sides. Trey on the other side has lost his Donnie, and he will be relying on the Queen of Hearts and Taras and Leonardo's sheer firepower to win this battle. Is he going to get through that protected block damage from Neve is going to be the interesting question. He bans the Hilvi because he wants to kill Brewmaster's champions once and for all. He doesn't want them reviving. We have to remember that Queen of Hearts also has a block revive mechanic with the Death Brand debuff that she brings. So that's exactly what we are going to see. Let's continue on and let me pull off the banner. And we will head right into the fight. Actually, let's do that. All right, so first turn, who gets the first turn? First turn is by Fabian. So again, remember, Brewmaster is counting on his Fabian to lock out. What he did, his strategy in this fight is basically to lock out Trey's team and make sure that there is no Donnie. He banned the Donnie. So he's relying on lockout. We see a Stone Skin from the Queen of Hearts, and we see Mercurial from Hilvi, from Taras, and Leonardo, interestingly, has neither Mercurial nor Stone Skin, so he doesn't have any kind of protection. We see the protected block damage starting off the fight on Brewmaster's side. And we also have Mercurial on both Maria and Lydia. Let's continue. Lockout comes in. First thing we watch for is if there are any resisted. No, everybody gets locked out, and that is very bad news for Trey. His only strategy against this was Donnie, and he was relying on Donnie being available. His Donnie got banned, and he does not seem to have any answers for the Fabian. So let's see if Trey has any answer to this. And I just realized I forgot to close the poll. Let's close the poll. All right, so let's continue. Hilvi goes for the A1 because she has no abilities available. Lydia, again, can put the defense down weaken. It's only gonna land on Queen of Hearts and Donnie, but she goes, not Donnie, Leonardo. She goes for the A3. That's very smart move from Brewmaster because that means Leonardo's passive is not gonna proc. He's not gonna get the Stone Skin. A very smart play from Brewmaster. Queen of Hearts goes for the A1. She does the AoE defense down, which only lands, unfortunately, on Neve. And finally, Sanguine Maria gets the turn. He's thinking he has to go for the A1 first, or does he directly go? He directly goes and doesn't do that much damage. He gets the extra turn again, and he does the triple hit on Leonardo. Again, Leonardo cannot get the Stone Skin. This is the third turn. That's a huge nuke on the Taras. And we get a turn on the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts is again going to go for the A1. Nothing else is available. Leonardo is very slow. He gets the turn. He goes after the Niamhe, and not really a lot changes. Taras gets the turn. He has only his A1 available, and because of Mercurial, he's not going to do a lot of damage, unfortunately. Fabian gets the turn. He has his A2 available as well, guys. He has the Petrification available. He does that, and Queen of Hearts is petrified, and there is a fear on Taras. This is not looking good for Trey. Brewmaster again goes in with even more debuffs, and Niam, he is going to give himself even more buffs. This is looking really bad for Trey at this point in time. He's going to try to remove the debuffs, remove the buffs on Brew's team. No, he's just going to go for the A3 from Queen of Hearts, the ally attack. What is it going to do is, oh, that's bad. Taras didn't even get to attack his fear proc. There was a hit from Leonardo. Of course, that's not enough. Maria comes in, triple hit. Taras is down. one turn still to go because of the block active skills on that Leonardo. Leonardo's passive is now finally available because he doesn't have block puffs, and he looks close to 50% HP. So that's not bad whatsoever. Fabian gets the turn. He cannot do much to Hilvi, unfortunately, but he goes with his A1 after Queen of Hearts. Neve gets a turn once again. What is she gonna do? She probably has her A1 available. She triggers the Stone Skin on the Leonardo. Now Leonardo has his A3 available, but it's a point if he gets a turn in time, because Maria is gonna go for the big nuke. Doesn't quite get the end of Queen of Hearts, and we have Maria taking an extra turn right here, and she kills off. Even though there was an aspect of Seroth proc on the Queen of Hearts, she kills the Queen of Hearts. Leo is basically one of the hopes, but we have protected block damage on the other team, so not like Leonardo can really do a whole lot. Hilvi finally gets a turn. She still has a turn to go on her revive, unfortunately, and we see another attack from Lydia, not really changing a whole lot. Decreased turn meter coming in. Leonardo is built very slow. That's what I'm noticing, first of all. Leonardo finally gets his turn. What is he gonna do? The problem is there's a protected block damage on Neve, and she's gonna trigger the passive and put it on everybody if he really tries to smack hard. So it's an interesting and difficult choice to make for Trey. What is Trey gonna do? He goes for the A1, tries to block. Why did he go for the A1? He could have gone for the A2 over there. Not sure I understand that decision. Neve gets a turn, and she almost kills Leonardo, and Maria joins in, and Maria kills Leonardo. And now Hilvi is open, no Mercurial stacks. He is counting the turns. Mercurial stack comes in. Hilvi has the revive available. Oh, did she have the revive available? She has the revive available. Why is he going for the A1? He doesn't want to get locked out, but he will get locked out now. Why did he not go for the revive there? He gets locked out. This is pretty much game over at this point. This is pretty much game over at this point. Because now he's not just locked out. He has block active skills thanks to Lydia's A3. And Maria, I think we are just counting down to when Maria can kill this Hilvi. This is a very tanky Hilvi, and Maria is taking her time killing it. Is this going to be the final blow? Is this going to be the final blow? We are waiting for Hilvi, and there it goes. Maria finally lands the final hit, and there you go. That is game number 1 going to Brewmaster. Very interesting battle. Hard fought, but I think simply Brewmaster, Fabian, Trey did not have an answer for Brewmaster's Fabian. That's pretty much the case. He was relying on his Donatello to counter the Fabian, and Brewmaster knew that. Brewmaster just banned that Donnie, and this game was basically over. Lydia blocks revive. Oh, of course, that's why. But I mean, he had to try, right? He had to try. So doing the A1 would have helped nobody. So Lydia does block the revive, but the next time she won't be able to because it's on a long cooldown. He still had to try. It was still better than the A1. But there is the first game going to Brewmaster, and I think everybody who voted was correct. All right. Let me put over the all right, so Trey versus Brewmaster, 0-1. Let me set up the poll and see if people's mind changes on who is going to win the second game over here. This is a best of 5, guys. Remember that. Have I corrected that? Have I still written best of 3? I need to correct that. Yeah, just give me a second. This is a bet. No, I have. Never mind. I have corrected that. Let's do that. All right, so let me set up the poll. Silver Trey versus Brewmaster, game 2. Brewmaster and Trey. There you go, guys. The predictions are live. Go and vote for game number 2. Who do you think is going to win? After a dominant performance in for the first game from Brewmaster, is Trey going to now think, adjust his strategy and bring in some other options? He was relying on the Donny to counter the Fabian. Donny got banned. Is that going to change? Let's see. Again, you are all playing for the gem pack. The more you participate, the more chances of you winning the gem pack. Head over to Discord. Hashtag or exclamation mark predict will give you the link. If you are not on the Discord, head over there, go to tournament predictions just like here, and then vote for who you think is going to win. Most votes get the gem pack. Most correct predictions get the gem pack, basically. And I am going to load up the second game in the background, but make sure you have voted as I set this up. Very dominant showing from Brewmaster in the first game. All right, so we're all set. Game number 2 coming up. Again, make sure to cast your votes on who you think is going to win. Again, mostly everybody thinks still that Brewmaster is going to take the second game as well. But Trey, if you look at Trey's history in the tournament, he has a history of comebacks. So I am counting on Trey to come back and see if he can even out the score. Trey from the future says in the chat, I still don't have counter for Fabian other than Donny. The counter to Fabian other than Donny is to ban Fabian. That's the counter. There are other champions. There's a lot of champions that you can use, which don't rely as much on lockout. Champions like Rotos, champions like Maria, mythical champions in general who can swap into the second form. Embers, for example, are good counters over there. All right, so let's head on over, start the second game. I will close out the predictions poll right before we launch into this game. Hilvey coming in from Trey, not a surprise, as Tara is going to be the second pick. His most relied on. He's going to go for the Armans this time. He is going to go for the Armans. Brewmaster's thinking after he's picked his Fabian. Fabian, who basically won him the game in the last round. Silver League Finals. Brewmaster versus Trey, 0-1 for Brewmaster at this point. Maria and Lydia coming in. Basically the same picks as last time. Taras comes in for Trey. I think we are going to see basically the same picks over here. Leonardo and Taras, the two damage dealers. Look at this, guys. Look at this symbol. He's playing a tournament final and his Taras is doing a background battle. That's what he's doing over here. Quite fun that you can do that. You can have background battles running while you play live arena. All right, so we have this time, I think they're both going for the speed race a little bit because there's an arbiter pick from Trey and there are 2 speed boosters from Brewmaster. So that means it's a very difficult decision for Trey to which champion to ban. But it's also a very easy decision for Trey which champion to ban because Brewmaster has only picked one nuker over here. Only one nuker, that is Maria. So if he bans Maria, then that means he has a good chance. He has to face a lot of control, but there will be no damage, so he'll have a good chance. Is Trey going to do that? No, he's not. I think that's a mistake. I think it's a huge mistake. I think this was an easy win if Maria was banned, because that's the only damage dealer. He has been traumatized by that Fabian, so he does ban the Fabian over here. Does not even pick Donnie because he was going for the Fabian ban. And Leonardo gets banned from Trey's side by Brewmaster. Arbiter lead versus Arbiter lead. This is going to be a speed battle. Again, if that Maria was banned, there was a good chance. But it is going to be a tough fight, basically. And we are going to jump in. This was an easy ban, in my opinion. I'll close out the polls now. People still think 100% of people who voted think Brewmaster is going to take this one as well. If Maria was banned, I would say the opposite, but let's see. Heading into game number 2 of the finals of the Silver League. Boost from Arbiter. And he does get the first turn, which is nice. Armans is going to go for the sheep on. Interestingly, he goes after Lady Kimmy. It's because there is Mercurial on everybody else. So, smart choice. Basically, he destroys or takes off the stacks of the Mercurial from Maria. Arbiter gets a turn. She's also looks like that is 9-piece Mercurial. Arbiter doesn't go for the A1. He goes for the A2 instead. Interesting choice. Lydia, who's she gonna go after? It's gonna be either she goes for the A2 or she goes for the A3 after either Armans or Arbiter. He's gonna go for the A2. Resist coming in for the Armans on the defense down. That might be a 3% resist, and both debuffs landing on Arbiter. Of course, Taurus had blocked debuffs on, and Hilvi had the Mercurial on. So Arbiter finally gets a turn once again. She destroys the Mercurial stack, which comes right back in as Maria gets the turn. Maria is, who's she gonna go after? She will, is he going to start with the A2 once again, or is he going to go for the A1 this time around? He goes for the A1 triple hit on Armans, gets the extra turn. What is he going to do next? He is thinking about it. And he goes for another A1 on Armans, tries to get the third turn. But no, Taurus cuts in. Is Taurus going to go for his huge nuke? No, he's going to go after with the A2. No, he's going to go for the A1, try to destroy the Mercurial stack. And now Armans is going to try to stun her. I hope this is not a weak hit. That was a weak hit. No. No. Nothing's going Trey's way. Let me rewind. That was definitely a weak hit. Yo, that's so sad. Weak hit on Maria, and he gets killed on the counter attack from Lydia. Hilvi is thinking of reviving. She will try to revive. Of course, Lydia blocks the revive, but now that block revive goes on cooldown. So again, this is what he should have done in the last game as well. Again, it was quite late. Anyways, Arbiter gets blocked with block active skills from Lydia. Bruise Arbiter finally gets a turn. Increase attack finally coming in. We still have the stun on Lady Kimmy. Trey's Arbiter gets another turn. He goes after the Mercurial stacks of Lydia. And Maria gets a turn. That stun would have been nice. And he goes for the huge nuke. That was amazing. Huge nuke on Taurus. Taurus is a tanky champion. And he had the block damage on. But of course, she pierces through that. 138k. And Arbiter and Hilvi are both locked out. And it is looking really bad for Trey at this point, and he will be down 0-2. That is not an easy position to recover from. If only he had banned Maria, but maybe he just didn't notice that there was only one nuker. It happens to me all the time in live arena as well. So that kind of tunnel vision, because he was very focused on banning that Fabian, that he did not see that I think is coming to bite him over here. But a good showing in this match, definitely compared to the previous game. And now Hilvi is still 2 turns away from the revive. This time she should be able to revive because Lydia's block revive is on cooldown. There's the Mercurial proc. And the problem is that Maria can now just hit her because the Mercurial is down, right? If Lady Kimmy doesn't put block buffs, no, she doesn't. She weak hits with the A1 and A3 comes in. Hilvi is super low. Ooh, still one turn away from the revive. She's gonna try to freeze, but the problem is Mercurial, freaking Mercurial stacks on 3 out of 4 champions. So he just goes for the A1. It's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad. A1 comes in, Mercurial goes away, and this pretty much looks like it's gonna be it. Lady Kimmy is still gonna go for the A1. Why is he not going for block buffs? That takes care of Mercurial. But that's it. Game number 2 is over with that hit from Maria. And Brewmaster is up 2-0 in the best of 5, which is a great position to have for Brewmaster and a terrible position for Trey, because it's very hard position to come back from. I have seen people come back from this and go 3-2 to win. Is Trey gonna be able to do that? But I can understand at this point he's also feeling the frustration, because he feels like he tried his best. He got the tunnel vision, of course, with not banning Maria, but he got rid of Fabian, which was the problem in game number 1. So now he's thinking, am I out of options? What can I do against this team? He might now try to ban Maria, but Brewmaster might recognize that. Maybe Brewmaster made an error with that Lady Kimmy pick. Maybe he didn't mean to do that. He just wanted to win the speed race. He also got tunnel vision, and he picked a second speed booster, but he forgot to pick a second nuker. And he is super happy that his only nuker did not get banned. With that said, let me check the... So far, everybody who has participated in the poll has been right, because Brewmaster has taken both games. I am gonna start the prediction for the third game. And again, people who are not on Discord, please join the Discord and vote for who you think is gonna win, for a chance to win the monthly gem pack if you get the most right predictions. Poll is live, as you can see. Go ahead and vote. I'm going to load up the third game in a second while this comes up. Hey Binabul, just comment how's it going. No, today and nobody will be joining. I'll be by myself. Hope that's okay. I wanted to experiment with co-casters, but also given that it's a holiday weekend, a lot of people are also not available. Made bad decision, pressure got to me. Yeah, happens, Trey. Mercurial is really annoying, and Brewmaster had way too many Mercurial stacks. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. All right, predictions are still ongoing. Again, guys, game number 3, get your predictions in. And I'm gonna load up the match in the background. Let's go. Game number 3 is loading. I'm gonna close out the predictions once they have drafted their champions. Hilvi is gonna be the first pick from Trey, just like the previous 2 games. Three champions with 9-piece Mercurial. Yeah, it is crazy indeed. He goes again for his trusty Fabian and Hilvi. Queen of Hearts comes back in from Trey. Queen of Hearts has won him a lot of games in the past. So let's see if that changes things over here. Trey has won a lot of games, very close games. So he's a very good player. He's just getting outgeared, it seems like. Again, last battle was kind of a tunnel vision thing with not banning the solo nuker. So they had a lot of server issues apparently. I hope they were able to figure this out. All right, so Donnie and Leo both pick from Brewmaster this time round, and this time the first Empress showing for Trey. Empress and Taras. He does not pick his Leo. This is one of actually probably the first fight he does not pick his Leo. Empress comes in, his 4-star Empress. Empress is a very good champion against Lockout. But of course, this time he does ban the Lockout. And he has to contend. Ooh, this is interesting. Now this battle is... It's going to be a bit of a different battle compared to the previous two. Fabian's banned. There's no Maria. There's Leo as the solo damage dealer on this team. Support in the form of Donnie. There's Hilvi as the reviver, and of course, a tremendous support in Neve. Neve has been the champion that has carried Brewmaster through the quarterfinals, through the semifinals, and she has carried game 1 in here in the finals as well. Trey gets his Hilvi band. He has his Arbiter available, Queen of Hearts, Taras, who is again farming background battles in the background, and Empress is available this time. This should be fun. Yes, it is silver, which is why we have the same champions and repeat champions in the best of 3. In gold, we will not see that. And plat, this time it should be fun. Plat should be a lot of fun because this is basically going to be... The draft is going to come in. This is going to be a best of 5, right? All right, so we are jumping in. Let me take off the banner. Let me close off the predictions again, guys. Participate in the predictions if you want to have a chance to win the monthly gem pack. As we load up into game number 3. Let's go. All right, so first turn comes in from Arbiter on Trey's side. She boosts up. Queen of Hearts wants to go directly for the AoE. No, she changes her mind. She's going to try to remove everybody's, of course, but the Death Brand she wants to put on the Leo. A2 from Empress is going to come in. Oh, resist and fear. Gets thrown back. This is not Trey's day. This is definitely not his day. Please tell me that his Metamorph is not going to get feared. Oh no! This is really bad RNG. Not only did he get the Wand of Submission, fear thrown back at him, no fear landed on anybody on Bruce's side, and the fear procced on his Metamorph, which means Empress is not able to go into his second form. This is super, super unlucky from Trey. And this is absolutely not what you need after being 2-0 down in a best of 5. Gets the ally attack, and Mercurial stacks are low. I see Chronophage in that Donnie as well. Of course, there's no lockout available. And the freeze all lands, of course, except for the Taras, who has the Mercurial stack to protect him. He goes... Oh, he almost kills the Hilvi, the Reviver, but can't get it fully done. And there comes in the ally protect and the block debuffs from Neve. Leonardo finally takes a turn. Is he going to go for the nuke straight away? Yes, he is. He is not able to get it fully done. Everybody survives on very little health. Things can still change. He has very good champions on Trey's side on this fight. Donnie is going to go for the reset, but unfortunately the Reviver dies. And on the ally attack, sadly, the Queen dies as well. 2 revivers left, and the unlucky part again, Empress cannot go into his damage form, his form 2. So that is pretty crazy. Donnie gets a turn once again, so very fast Donnie. And an ally attack coming in from the Turtles. Taras is going to go for the A3 now. There's a huge chunky shield on the opposite side, so he's going to tickle them basically. And Leonardo is now going to go for the A2 most likely. Sorry, I looked away for a second. Leonardo, does he go for the A2? No, he goes for the second nuke basically. How's that available? Did he get a reset? Unfortunately, Empress goes down, and this looks like the series is coming to a close. And Brewmaster, in very dominant fashion, again, coupled with unluck- unlucky for Trey, but lucky for him that the fears basically ruin this fight for the Empress. And the A1 finishes it off, and that is going to be a 3-0 to Brewmaster. Congratulations, Brewmaster, on winning the Silver League in the SMZ Champions League. Very, very solid showing, a 3-0 victory. Of course, I would have wanted closer games, but a 3-0 dominant victory. Um, he wins the Silver League, and that means he is gonna be winning 30 US dollars, and Trey is still gonna get $15 as the runner-up, as the prize of the Silver League. I'm going to reach out to both of you once the stream is done, most likely tomorrow. But congratulations to Brewmaster, and of course congratulations to Trey for showing up to the finals, playing a very, very solid round in the Silver League, and hope you enjoyed it. And again, both of you, please head over to Discord. Let me know in the feedback channel. I know there's a lot of conversation already going on here, so please join in. Would love to make this tournament better for the next time. So would love your feedback as players on how we can improve this. I know it's not perfect. I know that there were mismatches in terms of skill sets in some pieces. The idea is to improve that and make it as fair as we can. So please head over and provide feedback over here. But thank you very much for both players participating, and this was a very good Silver League. All right, I will load up the next one. I had a bad showing in the final. Yeah. You also got unlucky, and I guess you got some nerves in the final as well with that Maria not banned. Happens. But you still played a fantastic tournament, so nothing to be ashamed of or feel sad about. It was a bad day. It happens. And congratulations and a huge kudos to Brewmaster for taking full advantage of that. He played absolutely amazingly. Didn't give you a lot of room. All right, so we're gonna head over to the Gold League, and this is gonna be a final for the Gold League as well, and this is gonna be Afghan against LeMans. LeMans was also the winner of the gem pack from last time. So can he also win the finals here and add on to his prizes? That's what we are all here to find out. Let me change all of this. This is gold. Gold means now there's not going to be duplicate champions in any single fight. Everybody is free to choose as many champions as many times as they won the champions in the second round of the best of 5 or the third or the fourth. But in one fight, same as the gold rules in regular live arena. So let's look at the journey of both these competitors, right? So we have Afghan, who had a very good fight in the quarterfinals against Dead Ninja. The score says 2-0, but both of these battles were very hard fought, and it could have gone either way, to be honest. Then he had a 2-1 win against Nothingness, and he started off with a loss over there. So Nothingness won the first game. Afghan came back and won the next two to advance to the finals. He's shown a lot of resilience, and he's shown a lot of fight heading on over to the finals. LeMans' path hasn't been easy either. He fought a dominant 2-0 win against Lucho in the quarterfinals. He then fought against Wenches. This was a very good fight. 2-1 win. Fantastic games. This was a very good set of games. Again, if you haven't checked these out, head over to the previous live that I did last weekend and watch these matches. So LeMans heads on to the final. They have had a similar path. So if I look at the match card for a second, it's basically the record is 4 wins and 1 loss in total games. The average blessing is very similar for both players. The player power, everything is very similar. The ranking, the placement score that I got, also very similar for both players. So these players are very close in terms of everything that we can find on paper. Soul Reap being the go-to blessing for Afghan, Lightning Cage being the one for LeMans, favorite champion being Galathir, hated being Galvalax. He has picked his Gallius pretty much in every single fight, and his Galathir whenever he wants. And LeMans' Queen of Hearts is insane. She has the Chrono Cube, same as me, and he takes full advantage of that. So LeMans' Queen is someone to watch out for. And his Nice is go-to champion and his favorite champion. He's not a fan of facing Fabian. So let's see if Afghan is going to bring that up. Best advice is to, it happens, man. It happens. It happens to me as well. It happens to everybody. So it's very good advice, but it's easier said than done. But of course, this is the first of hopefully many tournaments, and we are going to see, again, as you play more, you get the hang of things. So we will see that. All right, so this should be close finals for the Gold League. Let me set up the predictions. So again, if you are joining us just now, we have the finals for the Gold League, and I will have a poll running for each and every single game. And you should head over to Discord. Link should be in the description, or type !predict and head over to Discord. Go over to tournament predictions, and then just vote for who you think is going to win. Whoever gets the most correct predictions at the end of the night, I'm going to calculate everything just like I did last time. Whoever has the most wins or most correct predictions is going to win a gem pack, monthly gem pack. So head on over, the poll is live, and vote over here on who you think is going to win the first game. Actually, I forgot to type. This is, can I edit it now? This is game 1, guys. Let me type this. This was for game 1. I forgot to type that. So game 1, whoever you think is going to win, just vote on. And I am going to do the same prediction for game 2 and game 3. All right, so let me set everything up in the background while you guys vote. And we will get started. All right. We have everything set up. Afghan versus LeMans, game number 1. Embrace is going to be the first pick from LeMans. And let's see who. Also, let me change these because LeMans is the one recording. So let me put LeMans on the left side, and let me put Afghan on the right side. Yeah, that looks better. All right, so Embrace pick, starting off with LeMans again. Gold rules, meaning that you cannot, so Afghan cannot pick Emrys anymore in this fight. He goes for Armans and for Galath here. Slides look so cool. Thank you, LeMans. They take some effort in the background, but I think they add to the feel, the story. All right, so LeMans goes for his trusty Queen of Hearts. That is a dangerous Queen of Hearts because she has a Chrono Cube relic. And Chrono Cube allows you to take 2 turns in a row. And Queen of Hearts is one of the best users of that relic because Queen of Hearts can go and remove buffs on the A2 and then go for the ally attack with increased attack on the A3. Gallius, as I showcased on the slides, is Afghan's go-to pick, and so is his Galath here. He likes the champions who begin with the letters Gal. So Gallius has been picked, and so has Galathir. LeMans has picked his Noel quite a lot in the past as well. Let's see who's going to pick last. He did pick in a decider final game against Wenches. He did pick his Cheshire Cat, and she did come in clutch. So let's see if that's what happens. Afghan has his final pick coming in. He has not picked a second nuker, so that's most likely what he's going to pick. And we are just about to find out who that second nuker is going to be. That's going to be Marius, the horse, of course. Armans is going to get banned, basically, by LeMans from Afghan side. And we will find out who's going to get banned on LeMans side. Fabian gets banned and Armand. So the control or lockout champions on both sides get banned, and this is going to be the final draft going into this game. Noel speed lead from LeMans, and Afghan goes for the resistance lead on Galath here. That is interesting. He wants to up his resistance so that Queen cannot strip those debuffs and so those buffs. This is going to be the lineup for the first game. Make sure you have voted, guys, and I am going to close out the polls for the first game just now, and we will head on over to this fight. All right, LeMans versus Afghan, the final of the Gold League, game number 1. Who is going to start off with an advantage? We will find out. So the first turn coming in from the Queen of Hearts, the dangerous Queen of Hearts from LeMans. Interestingly, Gold League final, no Mercurial. Silver League, so many Mercurial. So Queen of Hearts is going to go for the strip. Again, you have to remember that Galath here has the accuracy, the resistance aura, and he's picked that resistance aura for this battle for this very reason, to try to negate this buff strip from the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts does manage to remove everything. Wand of Submission throws back the fear, but the Queen of Hearts is wearing feral gear, which means she has the block buffs or the block debuffs on. The death brand is on Gallius. This is looking dicey for Afghan already. A1 coming in from the retaliation hit from Marius, but the extra turn because of Chrono Cube, and this is why she's so dangerous. He's going to go and try to kill the Gallius. He's done his research. He knows Gallius is the most dangerous champion on Afghan's team, and he does go for the kill, but he gets killed himself as well on that hit. Now, the problem is the fear can be cleansed, but Gallius is block revived. Noel can still revive. Ooh! Noel, I was going to say can still revive, but then the lockout came in. But look at this. Noel has Chronophage. She's not going to get locked out. Chronophage got used up. And Noel still has the freeze available. Now, Emrys gets a turn. Emrys will transition to his second form without getting feared, and the Queen of Hearts is dead. But now this could be just nuke and kill on 2 champions. If I am LeMans at this point, I'm going to try and not go for the AoE. I'm going to go and try the A1 on the Marius to try to block revive him, Because if that happens, the game is over. Let's see if he does that. He goes for the HP switch. No, he goes for the nuke. Of course, right now, the Galathier can revive, right? So can Noel. Noel will most likely go for the revive over here. And the game is absolutely not over, despite the fact that the Gallius is block revived. Revive comes in. Galathier will bring out his own revive now. And we will get a turn. The turn is skipped on Queen of Hearts. But the Cheshire Cat is just going to get a turn. Is she just going to smack and end this battle? Yep, Galathier's passive procs, and now he doesn't have the revive available. Doesn't have the revive available. And the Cheshire Cat finishes off the job. Very, very solid showing from LeMans in the first game. And he takes game number 1, going up 1-0. That Queen of Hearts has won LeMans so many games. And she does it once again by taking care of his most powerful champion in Gallius immediately at the start of the fight. And he must have researched, he must have seen in the previous fights that Afghan does not bring a lot of Mercurial, which means that it is a good opportunity to just kill people off with that queen just like that. Block revive Marius could have been the best move. Yes, definitely. It worked out for him regardless. But yeah, if I was LeMans at this position, I would definitely go for the block revive. All right, so let me set up the poll for the second game. Afghan versus LeMans, game 2. Poll is live, guys. Go ahead and vote who you think is gonna win. And let me set something up. So one thing we haven't seen so far. So we saw the Queen of Hearts in action already in the first game. We saw Gallius not in action. He was picked, but unfortunately he was block revived by the Queen of Hearts. We haven't really seen the Nice in action from LeMans as well. That is also his secret weapon that he likes to use. It's also his favorite champion. So in case now Afghan goes and decides to ban the Queen, will LeMans now bring up that Nice into play? He's not a fan of Fabian, so is Afghan gonna bring up Fabian as well? That's also gonna be one thing to look out for as we head over to game number 2. Again, the polls are live, guys, so please go ahead and vote for a chance to win the gem pack. And let me load up game number 2 in the background. All right, we are here with game number 2. People think that LeMans is going to win the game number 2 as well. Make sure you put in your predictions on who is going to win this one. Emrys and Fabian. LeMans picks the Fabian, the champion he dislikes for this fight. Hilvi and Noel coming in. Steals the Noel from LeMans. Afghan knows what's up. He picks the Noel, denies him. Mikage comes in from LeMans. I don't think we've seen Mikage so far. Maybe not even in the tournament, or maybe once in the tournament. But certainly not from LeMans, if I'm recalling correctly. And LeMans, you're in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Queen and Mikage picked Emrys, of course, as the first pick. He will go for another nuker as his second pick. Marius and Leo picked up from Afghan side. Leo is also another champion Afghan likes to use previously, as well as his Marius. Cheshire Cat once again with the Cracking Roots blessing. He's gonna ban the Armans. He does not appreciate, and basically the same bans as last time. Fabian gets banned on Fabian gets banned on LeMans side, and the Armans gets banned on Fabian's on Afghan side. He does not ban the Queen of Hearts despite what he's seen. So is he relying on Lady Noel being fast enough that he can just go before the Queen? That could very well be the case. That could be what he's going for. But we do have the Cheshire Cat lead with the 19% aura, 30% from Noel on Afghan side. So there's a good chance that Afghan will get the first turn this time round, and maybe he's able to freeze, maybe he's able to just go out and nuke to bring it back. So guys, if you haven't voted, I am gonna close out the polls in a second. Make sure that you have voted for who's gonna win game number 2. I am gonna close out the poll in a second as I load up this game number 2. All right, let's go. So let's see who the first turn is. The first turn is still the Queen. How fast is she? He does bring 2 champions with Mercurial this time round. So that's what he's relying on, I guess. But his nukers, one of his nukers can get block revived. Now the trouble is for LeMans to choose at this point, because there's stone skin on the Marius, which means there's a 50-50 chance that he's going to be able to remove it. On the Leonardo, on the other hand, he can remove it for certain, but Leonardo's passive is going to proc if he goes after the ally attack on Leonardo. So who is he going to choose for the death brand, for the block revive? He is going to opt for Marius, it seems like it. He does go, oh, he does get to remove it. The 50% works out for him. He gets to remove, and Marius it's looking bad. Chrono Cube, Queen of Hearts comes in once again, and that Marius is toast. The stone skin, of course, procs for Leonardo, and Noel and Hilvi, 2 revivers, are not gonna do a whole lot except for healing up. Mikage is gonna go for now the ally attack on the Leo. No, he changes his mind. He's thinking about it. He wants to go for one of the revivers. He knows it's game over if he kills the Leo. Also, LeMans does not have any revivers himself. That cracking roots hit. Again, we have to remember cracking roots goes and does a lot of damage to stone skin, which is why we saw basically the stone skin of the Leonardo breaking down there as well. Emrys finally comes in. Very little HP left on that stone skin. He's going to try to remove it with his A3. And there's the delay on Noel who dies, and that is going to be it. Oh, wow. Queen of Hearts. I do not understand why Afghan did not ban the Queen of Hearts. He should have taken a gamble. I know that he was scared of the Fabian. He lost out to Queen of Hearts. He was relying on beating LeMans' speed by picking the higher speed aura, by picking 2 champions who are built for speed. But that Queen is just built way too fast, and she destroyed him 2 games in a row. 2-0 to LeMans. Is this going to be another one-sided final? We head over to game number 3, and that's exactly what we are going to find out. I am going to set up the poll for game number 3. Afghan versus LeMans game 3. All right. I will now load up the finals. I'll put off the slides just for a second. I've seen one guy had 465 speed, Queen of Hearts, but his accuracy is much stronger. Yeah. How much is your speed, LeMans? If you don't mind sharing. All right, polls. Please make sure that you vote in the poll, guys, to have a chance to win that gem pack I've been talking about. But let's head on over to the third game. Is it gonna be the final game? That's what we're here to see. Game number 3. This is a best of 5, so if LeMans wins this, he wins the final of the Gold League. Emrys, the first pick from LeMans once again, and Afghan is now thinking on what he's gonna do. Is he gonna go for the Armans again, who gets banned every single time? Or is he going to change his strategy a little bit? He goes for the Armans, he goes for the Galathier, basically the same pick. He's not really changing his strategy. And as Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting different results, he called it something. So let's see if Afghan changes his strategy in the other 3 picks. He goes for Gallius and Marius. These are basically the same picks as game number 1. How is he planning to counter that Queen of Hearts? Is he just going to ban the Queen of Hearts finally? He should. I think, in my opinion, he should have banned that in game number 2. Final 2 picks from LeMans is going to be the Cheshire Cat and Lady Noel once again. It is definitely that. He's sticking to his guns. He wants to go for the working formula. Afghan has his last pick left. What is he going to go for? It's a pretty flex pick. He has 2 nukers, 2 supports already. Is he going to go for the Hilvi, which he has brought in previously? He does go for the Hilvi. He does not change anything, despite the fact that this strategy has failed to work. Not very smart play from Afghan, but let's see if he has a different strategy in mind. Queen of Hearts, he does ban. That's the change in strategy. We also see LeMans did not pick his Fabian this time around, which is maybe the reason that Afghan banned the Queen of Hearts. And Arman's banned from this side, and this will be the first fight without the Queen of Hearts in play. So he has another ally attacker in Lady Mikage. Is that going to work? She's certainly not like the Queen, so it is going to be different for sure. But is Gallius going to see some action? Afghan has won a lot of games because of Gallius and because of Marius. So is he going to make a comeback? That's what we are here to find out. Let's jump into the third game. I'm going to close out the polls in a second, guys. So make sure you have voted. All right, let's go into game number 3 of the finals of the Gold League. So first turn by Mikage, the other ally attacker this time around. Gallius does not have Stone Skin. He changes his mind. He wants to go after Hilvi instead. And wow! Oh my god, that damage from the Cheshire Cat. So the 3 champions take off the stacks and that 100k smack on the Cheshire Cat. So LeMans, if he doesn't get his queen, he's gonna bring a different ally attacker. We see the Galathier transforming into his second form. He's gonna try to steal and puts the block active skills. Emrys is still in play. He's gonna transform immediately to make sure he does not get the enfeeble, and he lands it on his Stone Skin. He's going to change his HP, get that boost in damage, and now he's gonna go. Is he gonna go for the A1 and try to block revive Gallius? And if that happens, it's gonna be sad for Gallius. Ooh, Gallius, of course, comes in, passive triggered, gets the turn. First time we're seeing Gallius in action, puts the revive on death buff on, and kills off the Embrace, but of course, because of the passive, dies himself. Revive on death on both champions, come right back. A1. This is kind of the repeat of game number 1. A1 from Cheshire Cat kills the Gallius but dies himself. There are revivers on both teams. Obviously, nobody's block revived just yet, so people can make a comeback. Noelle, is she gonna go for the revive already, or is she gonna go for the healing? She just goes for the A1, puts the block buffs, and Mikage, is she gonna transform? Is she going to transform? No, she's going to try to decrease the duration of the buffs with her A2. She does manage to do that on both champions. So this Galathir doesn't look like it's built with a lot of resistance. Stun comes in on both champions, except, of course, for the high resist Noel. Marius boosts up. Oh, that Empress passive kills Marius as well. That Empress passive. And there's a stun. Was that the stun reflected back? Did I miss that? Yeah, it was. I missed that stun getting reflected back on Galathir, and that's going to become huge, of course, over here. Because that Galathir cannot do anything. He cannot transform back, cannot revive, and of course, the revive will come in from Noel. So that Wand of Submission coming in clutch. Now he's going to try to do. So the problem is that, first of all, that Galathir from Afghan doesn't look like it's built with a lot of resistance. So we'll see if she's going to stun him as well over here. No, he resists the stun, but he gets his stun meter decrease, and Cheshire Cat might just finish the job, and he does. Of course, Galathir, I don't know if transforming Galathir immediately was the best play over there. Could have gone for the revive immediately, but that is it. LeMans wins the third game in a row and wins the finals of the Gold League 3-0. Many congratulations, LeMans. Fantastic showing. And you showcased in the third game that even if your best pick was banned, you still had a strategy, and a fantastic one at that. That Cheshire Cat hits like an absolute truck. So that was freaking fantastic. So let's head over. Let's change this basically to reflect what happened in these games. And we have the win coming in from LeMans. So LeMans wins the finals 3-0, and he is the inaugural champion of the Gold League in the Champions League. And that also means that he will get his prize pool of 40 US dollars, and Afghan will get $20. Again, I will reach out to both of you most likely tomorrow to set this up. But many congratulations to LeMans for winning this in dominant fashion. He had a difficult path to the final, I would say. The first round not as much, but the semifinals definitely was, and then he was able to dominate. And Afghan dominated basically the earlier rounds. Dead Ninja, again, that game I bring up, it was close, but he had a very good showing, and he just did not have a good answer to that Queen of Hearts, basically, and that is what took him down in this final. With that said, let's head on over to Platinum, and we will see basically the semifinals and then the finals of the Platinum League. And this is going to be fun because I hope, first of all, I hope these are not as one-sided as the Silver and Gold League finals have been. This is a best of 5, both for the semifinals and for the finals. And now Platinum has rules. Platinum has additional rules. Rule is, in Platinum, champions, of course, should be unique between teams, same as Gold. But also, any one champion can be used maximum of 2 times in the entire fight. So strategy is going to come into play. You can't just play this like regular live arena, regular Gold arena. You need to plan to use your champions strategically. If you pick your best champions in the first fight, in the second fight, you will not have good champions available for the third, fourth, and potentially fifth fight. So this is going to be very interesting to see what strategies people use. Let me set everything up on this side, and we will jump into the Platinum League. Hello, hello. I was muted this whole time. Okay, I have to redo. Apologies and thank you, LeMans. All right. So I was talking about the path to the finals for both these players. So Gaijinn basically had a very dominant showing against Timmy. He dominated Blazin as well. Basically, Blazin is an very end game player, very powerful account, and Gaijin threw him off 2-0 to make it to the finals. Walth Vader, very similar story. He had a 2-0 showing against Cads, an end game YouTuber himself, and then against Jota Katota 2-0. And remember, Jota is the one who beat Ken Pachi in a very convincing fashion. So both of these players are heading into the semifinals with 4-0 unblemished record. This is going to be a battle of two behemoths fighting each other. Average blessing slightly higher for Gaijin. Walth Vader still not very far off. Solonar is Gaijin's favorite champion and his most hated champion. Emrys, favorite for Walth Vader, also shows up as one of his most picked champions. And he most hated champion is definitely Fabian. Gaijin's Nell was a surprise pick against Blazin. We had Cruson and Shenny joining us in the last round, and both of them were very surprised with the Nell pick. They were both against that Nell pick, but that Nell pick ended up being one of the deciding factors to have Gaijin win against Blazin. Is he going to use that in the semifinals? That is what we are going to see. So, to Battle of the Behemoths, I will set up the poll for the first game. Again, if you're just joining us, guys, we have a prediction contest going on. So for every single game, I am going to type something in over here. Join the Discord. Link should be in the description. And if you don't see the link, just type !predict. It will show up. Go over to tournament predictions, as you can see, and then just vote over here. So this is Gaijin against Walth. Poll is live, guys. Go over and vote who you think is going to win. I am going to close the polls before we jump into the match itself. So make sure you are voting. Gaijin, the first votes are coming in for Gaijin. People think he has an advantage. Both players, oh wow, okay, a lot of people think Gaijin is going to win. Both players on paper are pretty neck and neck. So it can definitely go either way. So this is the setup. Let me load up the game in the background, and I will leave you with the slideshow for a second, and I will be back with the game. All right, almost done. Make sure you have the votes coming in, guys. Everybody thinks Gaijin's gonna win the first game. I am very surprised. I am very surprised at that. All right, so things are set up. Votes are still flying in. Make sure you add your prediction for a chance to win the monthly gem pack. Head on over to the Discord. So Gaijin against Walth Vader. We are watching the screen of Walth Vader. So he was going to be on the left side. And we are going to see this first semi-final of the Platinum League. Again, guys, just to remind you, Platinum means gold rules, So meaning that each champion picked in a fight needs to be unique, same rule as before. Plus, every single champion can only be picked a maximum of 2 times. So you have to be very careful because this can go into game number 5. You cannot just pick all your best champions immediately in the first game. That is going to be definitely an issue. Despite the fact that Walth Vader shows level 97, he's a very strong player. We also had him in, again, you've seen his record. He's done very, very well. We also had him playing a lot of show matches before the tournament started, and he was very dominant over there as well. So Neve is the first pick from Walth Vader. Gaijinn goes for Nice and Marichka. Interestingly, again, Gaijinn is playing it smartly. He doesn't want to pick his Solinar immediately. He doesn't want to pick his Nell immediately. He might pick in the second choices as well, but those are the champions he likes to pick. He has picked previously when the best of threes were there, which means that there was not as much pressure to save your champions in a best of 3 as is there in a best of 5. You have to be very careful. Walth Vader is thinking what he wants to pick next. Empress after Empress and Neve. Goes for his trusty Marius. And is Solinar gonna show up already? From Gaijinn's side. He also has a Bayek he really likes to use. When he hits me. When he loves me, when he hits me. When he hits, okay. Yeah, apologies guys, mic was off for a bit. But I covered everything once again. So hope all is good. Alright, Bayek does come in and Siegfried comes in. Siegfried's not a champion Gaijinn has used a lot. He thinks about Calamitous, then drops it. Is Walth Vader. He has already picked 2 nukers. He hasn't picked a reviver just yet. Neither has Gaijinn, to be honest. Marichka is a conditional reviver. It's not a reviver. Fabian comes in from Walth Vader. And Calamitous. He does go for Calamitous. Alright. What is Gaijinn going to go for as his last pick? He does have Bayek. And it's a +2 5-star Bayek. Super jealous by the way. Crixia comes in. This is going to be both lockouts banned. 6-star polymorph Crixia, that is. Crixia is also one of Gaijinn's more banned champions. He bans the Siegfried. He bans the Siegfried and not Crixia. Very interesting choice. Bans the Siegfried and not Crixia. And Gaijinn bans the Empress and lets Fabian play. So both lockouts are in play. I'm going to take a screenshot over here so that we can keep track of what champions are there. And as it goes down to a third game, we will revisit all of this to see which champions are available. Walth Vader. Versus Gaijinn. Alright, so we're all set. I'm gonna close off the polls now. Hope everybody has voted on who they think is gonna win. Most correct predictions get you a gem pack. Everybody thinks Gaijinn's gonna win. Alright. Alright, so it's time to jump in and see who is gonna win this fight. Game number 1, Gaijinn against Walth Vader, the first semi-final of the Platinum League. Let's go. Who's going to go out on top in the first game? We start off, of course, with Neve's protected block damage on everybody with the 9-piece protection. Lockout comes in. Everybody does get locked out. And A1 count ally attack coming in as well. Fabian is definitely locked out. Everybody's locked out. Calamitous does not mind getting locked out that much. But everybody else kind of does. Marius with the enfeeble A1, hard hitting. Again, there is Bayek on the other side. Do not discount that Bayek. And that Bayek also hits hard. We've seen that before. He goes for the increased accuracy, which means that this team is not. Oh my god, look at the number of debuffs. Look at that vast number of debuffs. The decreased accuracy, the provoke. Everybody is. Oh, wow. Nice. Block revives Marius. Calamitous is now the hope left in terms of nukers for Gaijinn. And again, it's going to be an uphill battle now for Walth Vader. It's going to be really an uphill battle. And that might be it. Look how hard that Bayek hit. And that's it. No revivers over here. And locked out supports and nice finishes off the job. Very fast fight. And Gaijinn goes up 1-0. It looks like so far whoever is on the right side of the scorecard is winning. So that is game number 1. Walth Vader against Gaijinn. What a dominant showing. What a dominant showing from Gaijinn. It ended up being a battle of the lockouts, and Gaijinn's Krixia basically won the fight. That is exactly what happened. Alright, I will set up the poll now for game number 2. Plat, Gaijinn versus Walth. Did I forget to tap game 1 again? Of course I did. Gaijinn, Walth. Alright, game number 2 poll is live, guys. Head on over to Discord. Vote for who you think is going to win the second game. Most correct predictions is going to win the gem pack. Poll is live. Head on over and vote. I'm going to close the poll before the fight starts. So make sure you vote in time. But meanwhile, let's jump into the game itself and see if they are going to change their choices when it comes to picks. Marichka, who was the pick from Gaijinn last time as well. Marichka is the first pick. This also means if Marichka is not banned here, that means Marichka is not going to be able to be used for the rest of this series. Garrel is the first time pick, and so is Predator. Interestingly, we did not see Predator being picked from either side in the last fight, which is very unusual for this level of play. Neve gets picked by Gaijinn this time round. And of course, the trusty Bayek. Again, if Bayek is not banned, Bayek is not available in the next fights. But Gaijinn is also saving his Solinar. He's saving his Nell. He has not used them so far. Bayek is very annoying indeed. Walth Vader is going for his next 2 picks. He has picked 2 nukers, so he's most likely going to pick a revival. He does use his Theodosia quite a lot. So wondering if he is going to bring that in immediately or he's gonna wait out. He brings Hilvi, who doesn't have the highest of blessing. Lamasu, interesting choice. Lamasu from Walth Vader. He has used Lamasu in the quarterfinal against Jota, if I am remembering this correctly. Gaijinn is going to go for the last 2 picks. He will pick a secondary nuker, either Nice or Siegfried, I would assume. Maybe even Solinar. Nobody has picked Fabian just yet in this fight. His one real counter is Carnage, who has so many counters. Oh, Carnage is fantastic. Death Dealer Rotos is another one. Yeah, that's a good shout. Siegfried and Nice, I called it, are the 2 picks from Gaijinn. Maria shows up. Sanguine Maria is going to be in the last pick. Who's going to get the ban? It's going to be Bayek. He does not want to deal with that Bayek again. But that also means Bayek is going to be available in the next games. Maria gets banned. Maria gets banned. Who's going to be the leader picks from both sides? We are going to find out in a second. And it's going to be Marishka and it's going to be LeMans. Oh, I need to head back for a second. I need to take a screenshot. All right, so I will take a screenshot, which we are going to look at right after this fight for battle number 3. Because again, these are platinum rules, which means each champion can be used a maximum of 2 times. So, for example, Marichka is not going to be available to Gaijinn in the next fight. And I believe, no, he hasn't picked any champion second time, has he? No, he hasn't. So Walth is going to have pretty much everybody available. He has been strategic about picking the champions. Gaijinn has used some champions the second time. As we head on over to this fight, I am going to close out the polls. Guys, if you haven't voted thus far, please go to my Discord, linked in the description. If you can't find it, just type exclamation mark predict and the Discord is going to show up. Join the Discord, vote for who you think is going to win. And we're going to run this prediction for the entire day or entire night, basically, as we are streaming. Whoever has the most correct predictions at the end is going to win a monthly gem pack. All right, let's head over to game number 1. I am going to close out the prediction for this. Oh, sorry, game number 2. I'm going to close out the prediction for game number 2 just now. And we head over to the second game. All right, so who's going to get the first turn? Game number 2, Gaijinn against Walth. Gaijinn took the first game because of that lockout. LeMans, who gets the turn, immediately gives the turn meter boost and the turn to, oh my god, to Garrel. And she puts, again, there is no Mercurial. There is only one Stone Skin and only one block debuffs on Nice because of the Feral set. The Niamhe or Neve as well as Siegfried are unprotected, which is why this provoke goes through, and provoke of course also goes through the block debuffs. There it does get cleansed off immediately thanks to Marichka's A3. Neve gets a turn. Nobody's locked out. Neve goes for the A1 right now. And there is huge nuke coming in from Nice. Takes care of Lamasu. Of course, she can be revived back thanks to Hilvi. Another nuke comes in from Siegfried. Not able to kill off the Garrel. Garrel also increases the skill cooldown on the Siegfried. Revive comes in, block damage, and oh, that was a huge nuke from Predator. Almost killed off. If we can watch this again, almost killed off that Siegfried, but Siegfried survives thanks to his passive. There's the Cat's Gaze proc as well. Marichka is gonna heal right back up, so the game is on. Everybody is available, and it's gonna be a tough fight. So the Mercurial stack, interestingly, Mercurial stack breaks first even if you have block damage, so it hits the Mercurial before it is countered by the block damage. Garrel transforms into her second form. She is gonna go for the nuke, and she kills off the Marichka, and she kills off the Neve. Neve comes right back thanks to Marichka's passive, and there's going to be a fear coming in from Lamasu. It lands on both nukers, but the fear doesn't land on Nice, but the block buffs does, and Lamasu is now block revived. Predator finally gets a turn. He's going to go for his nuke most likely. Yes, he does. Neve is taking care of. Garrel gets a turn. Boosts up. Gives herself the buffs. She's going to go for the nuke now. She does go for the nuke. Transformation comes in from Nice, but he was frozen. And now the fear is on Siegfried. It looks like Walth might make a comeback. However, he has his Lamasu block revived, and Garrel is of course dead. She can be revived back. Nice puts on the crazy buffs. Again, game is never over until you have Nice in the field. And of course, Siegfried can also bring people back if he's the last champion left. Predator still in action. Another crazy champion who can change this fight. A huge hit comes in and lands as a weak hit on both these. Oh no! That was a huge Cat's Gaze nuke. Huge Cat's Gaze nuke coming in from Siegfried. And one shots the Hilvi, 267k and 634 on the splash. Predator does not evade. This looked like it was getting close, and Walth could have gotten a win, but that Siegfried takes care of it. And what a fantastic comeback from Gaijinn in this game number 2. Yes, comeback, because it was looking like that Garrel might destroy him. And Gaijinn takes game number 2 as well. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was a huge smack. That was a humongous smack. Alright, so as we head into game number 3, let's do a couple of things. First off, let me set up a poll. So even though Gaijin won this game, Walth Vader, it looked like he was going to take the win. So I am expecting a very good game number 3 as well, and potentially game 4 and game 5 as well, even though Gaijin is very much in the driver's seat at the moment. I'm going to launch the poll for the third game. Gaijin versus Walth, game number 3. Gaijin, Walth. Poll is live, guys. Head on over to Discord and vote for who you think is going to win. Most correct predictions will win a monthly gem pack. As you guys do that, let's have a look at what's available. So these are the picked champions from both sides so far. So let's see which champions have been picked twice. And again, picked means used essentially. So we have, and again, wait, let me, instead of doing this, let me bring this up. I was doing this last time. Yeah, let's. All right, here. So let's see who has been used 2 times. Marichka has definitely been used 2 times. So Gaijin does not have Marichka available. And let's see who else. Bayek was banned in the second game, so he has his Bayek available. Siegfried was also banned in the first game, so Siegfried is also available. Nice has been played both times, so Gaijin cannot use his Nice anymore. Right? Crixie has been used once, Bayek has been used once, and Siegfried has been used once. Let's look at Walth Vader's side. I think he's picked unique champions so far. He has not repeated any single champion. So he has pretty much everybody available. He's playing smart. So despite the fact that Gaijin is 2-0 up, Walth Vader has a very good chance of coming back because he can use any team he wants, basically. He has not picked any champion 2 times. Gaijin has 2 of his powerhouses. Again, as I showed you in the stats, guys, look at this. League overview. Marichka, when I did these stats for the first time, Marichka had a 100% win rate. Whoever picked Marichka got the win. And it's holding true even now. Gaijin has picked her 2 times. He's won. It dropped up to 90% in the last round, but it's still a very high percentage for Platinum League. So Marichka is now gone. Nice is now gone. So it is gonna be, I think Walth Vader has better champions left. Is he going to be able to take the advantage of that? That's exactly what we're going to find out. Let's see your predictions rolling in. So far, it looks like 75% predictions are still going to Gaijin, but 25% people still think Walth will win the next game. If you haven't voted, guys, go ahead and vote. All right, so as you vote, let me load up the game and I will be right with you for game number 3 of this best of 5. Gaijin is going to bring out the Solinar now. He has to, right? So Gaijin wants to finish this off. He is in the driver's seat with 2-0 and he wants to finish this off and take the win. And Walth Vader, he has his work cut out for him. He needs to win the next 3 games if he wants to have a chance of advancing to the finals. He's played smart in the way that he has all his champions available. So on paper, he has a good chance. But Gaijin still has a Solinar left. Gaijin has not brought out his Nell either. So it's still going to be an uphill battle. Predictions are still live, guys. So go ahead and vote on who you think is going to win. Neve comes in from Walth Vader. He did pick her in the first game as well. This is the second time he's picked her. Gaijin is most definitely going to bring out his Bayek. And I think it's a very good chance we are going to see Solinar picked from Gaijin as well. And it's going to be tough from Walth Vader on who he wants to ban, Bayek or Solinar. Bayek and Galathir come in from Gaijin. Gaijin, I don't think he's picked Galathir so far. So that's a first pick, but Bayek he's definitely picked all 3 times. It did get banned in game number 2, which is why it's available right now. Garrel, who was really solid in the second game, almost got him the victory. He does pick her. And Marichka, who Gaijin cannot pick in. No, he changes his mind. He's thinking, does he want to go Marichka? He's putting quite some thought into this and makes sense. He's a lot at stake. He picks Maria. I believe he picked Maria in the first battle as well. I think she got banned. Gaijin, is this going to be Solinar pick finally? Or is Solinar going to be the last pick? Could also be Nell. Solinar comes in and so does Siegfried. So now Walth has to debate, as I said, is he going to ban the Bayek or is he going to ban the Solinar? It's going to be an uphill battle regardless. Either of those cases. Theodosia, who Walth Vader has picked a lot. So he has been saving Theodosia for this battle. Has Walth Vader made the mistake of saving his champions too much? That now even if this fight he wins or it gets close and he loses, series is over. So maybe he should have brought out the big guns in game number 2 already. He does pick his Marius, who he did pick once more before. Theodosia has not showed up so far. Gaijin was last pick. Is that going to be a Nell? Is that going to be somebody else? It's going to be a Raglan, interestingly. A Raglan. I mean, I'm assuming this is going to be a Mercurial Raglan. Don't think we have seen a whole lot of Raglan so far in the tournament. And he is going to ban the Bayek and not the Solinar. He's going to let Solinar play. And Gaijin doesn't want to see Maria. Gaijin banned Maria in game number 1 as well. He really does not want to see Maria in play. Alright, so that is the team for this game number 3. We have Resistance Aura picked from Gaijin to get on Galathir. To kind of try to avoid basically the debuffs coming in, potentially the Enfeeble. From the Marius, the Provoke from the Garrel. Speed Aura, of course, picked from Theodosia. This should be an interesting fight. 2 nukers, a Reviver and support on Walth Vader's side. And we have 2 humongous nukers from Gaijin, and that Siegfried has Cat's. And we have 2 revivers in Galathir and in Raglan. This should be a fantastic fight. As we jump into the fight, make sure you have voted. I am going to close out the polls just now. And again, most people think Gaijin is going to take this home. So let's see if they are right. Game number 3, Walth Vader versus Gaijin, semi-finals of the Platinum League. First turn from Theodosia. Again, Theodosia's being seen play for the first time. She gets the Veil and Stone Skin. A1 comes in from Solinar. And we have Transformation immediately. He wants to get rid of so many buffs. Wow, look at that. Enfeeble, despite the resistance and very good damage from that Marius. So he's not able to put any debuffs on. Marius gets the turn. Wow, that Marius can nuke. That was a passive triggered. And most of the buffs on Gaijin's side are suddenly gone. There the nuke comes in, and that was a one shot to that Neve. Of course, he can be revived right back. Is that what he's going to do? Is he going to transform and try to put the buffs on? He's just going to do his A1. Garrel gets the turn. We saw Garrel can hit a lot. And she does. Wow. Takes off half the HP from pretty much everybody. Gets the provoke on the Siegfried. Solinar gets the turn. And he goes through the Stone Skin, of course. Theodosia has very little HP left. Galathir gets the turn. He's going to try again. And the stun lands on Garrel. Revive comes in from Theodosia from Walth Vader's side. This is looking close. It can go either way. Is Walth gonna bring this back? That even this Marius hits so freaking hard. A snap comes in the middle of the fight for Walth Vader. Revive, cooldown reset. Soul reproc. The fear comes in as well. Of course, the fatigue debuff comes in from Solinar. So freaking annoying. Solinar gets the turn. He has all his skills reset as well. You have to remember that because of that Raglan revive. Because that's why Raglan is such an incredible champion. Does not go through blocked damage, of course. Wake up. Garrel kills the Galathir. And you have to remember, despite the fact that it's a 2-turn revive, Raglan's revive is on a cooldown. Even Siegfried is dead. Walth is going to bring this back, isn't he? It's looking really good. But again, Solinar is freaking amazing. This Marius can hit out. He should not buff. No. No. That was a big mistake. That was a big mistake. He should have gone for the A1. Tried to land the Enfeeble. He forgets that he has that fatigue debuff. Look at this. This debuff will put him to sleep if he takes an extra turn. I think this was a crucial mistake. He gets sleep. He's not able to land anything. That might have been the key. Solinar gets a turn. Is Gaijinn going to punish Walth Vader for that mistake? Gets the fatigue once more. Kills him. And Mercurial is off. Garrel transforms and falls asleep again. Fatigue is so annoying. Raglan revives Galathir. Oh no, no, no. And Solinar comes back. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Oh, just Solinar left. Just Solinar left. And of course, because of the magma shield, Garrel dies. That Solinar is the last thorn in the side. He kills Theodosia. A1 kills off Marius. Wow! Look how that game flipped. Look at this, guys. This was game over at this point, right? Revive. Marius was not able to nuke. And now that Solinar has killed everybody. And now that Neve cannot do anything. He's going to die to the magma shield. No, Solinar is going to finish it off. Wow! What an incredible fight. Solinar so busted. Walth Vader must be so frustrated here. He took down everybody, but that Solinar single-handedly killed everybody off. Walth Vader made one big mistake with that Marius, which I pointed out. He did not go for the A1. He went for the A3, fell asleep. That could have helped. That could have taken off the Mercurial from Raglan. Could have killed the Raglan right there. He had the Unkillable available to avoid getting killed by Solinar. But all of that is hindsight. All of that is hindsight. This must be so frustrating for Walth. He played really well. He played very strategically. But that Solinar, oh my god, that Solinar is annoying as hell. Gaijinn, congratulations, heads over to the finals. He saved his Solinar for the third fight. It was between Solinar and Bayek, both very, very nasty champions. Walth Vader took a gamble on Solinar, and I don't think Walth Vader is going to leave any Solinar unbanned going forward. All right, so let's update the brackets, shall we? So balanced, yeah. That's a very frustrating champion. But this was a fantastic game. Walth Vader played so incredibly well in this game, but unfortunately, that unbalanced, overpowered Solinar takes the game. Gaijinn heads over to the finals, very dominant fashion. And now we're going to find out between Sami and Euler who's going to join him. Before the tournament started, I predicted that Gaijinn and Euler are going to meet in the semifinals. They had a show match before the tournament started, and it was a fantastic show match in which Euler actually won that show match 2-1. So is Euler going to make it? Sami is a very good player as well. He's had a fantastic showing against Pro Damage, one of the best of threes I've seen. This one, if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend that you do so. He had a very good best of 3 against Shenny as well. and now he's going to fight against Euler. Euler's route to the final hasn't been easy either. He had a 2-1 against Lukto, well fought match. Anonymous Dennis Cowfish, he was able to 2-0 knock off. Euler's a fantastic player. And now he's joining Sami. And let me load up the match card between Sami and Euler. So Sami has had a 4-2 showing, Euler 4-1. Average blessings are slightly higher on Sami's side. Favorite champion is Marius. It's one of his most picked champions. He does not like Carnage. Euler, Galathier is his favorite and his most hated champion. Does like to pick his Galathier very often, and he also picks his Nice. Let me start off the predictions. And guys, head on over to Discord. Vote for who you think is gonna win the first game between Sami and Euler. Game number 1. Poll is live, guys. Head on over and vote who's gonna win. And let me leave you with the slideshow for a second while I load up the next game. All right. People are split on the votes. Sami versus Euler. Let's see who's gonna win. I'm gonna load into the next game. And again, I'm gonna close off the poll before the match starts. Euler picks his +2 Galathier as his first pick. Who's Sami gonna respond with? We are gonna find out in a second. Marius and Carnage. Euler mentioned right now that Carnage is a good counter to Bayek. Now the question is, does Euler have a Bayek? I don't think he's used it so far if he has it, but there have been events over the past couple of weeks. Maybe he has gotten one. Let's see. He also has a Theodosia. Again, we are going to keep track of champions, how they're used, and who are going to be available. Both players will have to be careful on when they use their best champions. Because it's a best of 5, each champion can be used a maximum of 2 times. Nice and Fabian pick from Euler. Sami is thinking, what is he going to go for? He's going to go for Hilvi. And he is going to go for Marichka. Marichka has a very high win rate, guys. He has an over 90% win rate. All right. Theodosia does come in from Euler, the second reviver, and Empress comes in as well. Empress and Nice are gonna be his 2 damage dealers of choice. Sami has a flex spot available and he goes for Predator. Sami's Predator hits insanely hard. He has the lens of intangibility, and that is a huge difference maker. So we should be careful. Again, if Euler has done his homework, he knows that. He has seen how hard that Predator hits. So he's thinking about who he's going to ban. Sami bans the Fabian, does not want to be bothered with the Lockout. A very safe choice. Fabian is one of the most banned champions in the Platinum League. As his antivirus pops up. He bans the Marius. The 6-star Crushing Rend Marius. Very safe pick as well. And this is going to be the final roster. Go back. Need to pause. This is going to be the final roster. I need to pause because I need to take a screenshot. All right, so this is going to be Sammy versus Euler. No. And these are the picks in the first battle. I'm going to showcase these to you guys in the third fight, when we will see who has picked what and what is now not allowed. So I'll close out the predictions in a second. Make sure you have placed your vote in. And we are all set to go in this game number 1. TreyTz now counter Solinar. Interesting. All right, semi-final number 2. Sammy against Euler, Platinum League semi-final. Who's going to join Gaijinn in the finals? Both are very, very good players who are pretty evenly matched. So this should be a fantastic game. And let's see who wins the speed race. That is going to be on Gaijinn here on Euler's side. He has 3 people in Stone Skin, 1 in Mercurial, and a lot of Mercurial, 2 Stone Skin on Sammy's side. Hilvi is just going to go for the A1, try to decrease the Mercurial stacks on that Theo. Theo gets a turn. She puts the Stone Skin on her. And Empress now gets a turn, who's under Veil and is under Stone Skin. Is he going to go for the A3? Makes no sense. Is he going to go for the A3 to strip the Stone Skin on potentially Predator and Marichka, or is he just going to transform into the second form? He just goes for the A1 to decrease the Mercurial stacks. What a fantastic meta we are living in. People are not using their money abilities because they just want to decrease the Mercurial stacks at the start of the battle. Nice comes in. And right now, let's count. Carnage has his Mercurial stack available, the single one. So does Hilvi. Predator has his Stone Skin available. Marichka is available to be destroyed. Is Euler gonna go for that? She has a chunky shield. Don't forget about that. Goes for the AoE nuke. Does not really do a whole lot of damage, which is expected. Carnage tries to go in, gets the Mercurial stack, but not the Stone Skin. Gaijinn here likely will now flip into the second form and try to steal some of these buffs. Or not steal buffs, try to remove the buffs. And he does, puts the block active skills on that Marichka. Again, guys, I've just said this. The Predator has Lens of Intangibility, this Predator on Sammy's side, and he does a lot of damage. And Euler made the mistake. I mean, it's not a mistake because he already did do his boost turn meter, and all his champions are alive, so no reason to stay for the revival. Flipped into the second form, which means he can be one shot, and he's just gonna go for the A2. Look at the damage. The unkillable basically saves the day. And Hilvi, we have Hilvi available, who's gonna try to remove that unkillable, isn't she? Yes, she is. She's not gonna be successful, but she does get the freeze on the Theodosia, or the burn rather. Emrys flips forms. He can exchange HP, of course. Who does he target with the HP exchange? Carnage. And there's a huge chunky shield because of Marichka. He takes off the shield, but is not able to clean up that Carnage just yet. Gaijinn here now goes for the block active skills, does get the lockout on Predator as well. So Predator is not block reviving anybody until that's cleansed off. And Marichka is also locked out, which means she cannot cleanse either. Gaijinn here is dead even though the debuffs got resisted. Theodosia brings them right back. So this battle is very much on from both sides at the moment. Hilvi is locked out. She can only do her A1. Who does she target? Most likely Theo. No, he goes after Emrys. Predator only has A1 available. Goes for the Emrys. Of course, Unkillable protects him. Emrys only can go for the A1 right now because he just did his A2 nuke. Goes after Predator. Predator does not evade. Carnage spreads the defense down on the Nice as well. Gaijinn gets a turn. Is he going to transform back? No, he's just going to do his A1. His transformation is not available. His Unkillable is gone though. Nice is in the second form. He goes for the nuke, kills off the Carnage. but gets some damage in return. Galathier is down once again. Theo takes a turn. Will this Theo transform? He should not. He should not transform. He goes for the Stone Skin and the Veil. Interestingly, look at this. This does not look like Nice is under Veil. Like, visually does not look like Nice is under Veil, but of course he is, given the debuff. That has to be a bug. Emrys gets a turn. Does he have his A3 available? Can he swap HP right now? His HP is also destroyed. No, he goes for the nuke and dies on that counter attack from that Predator. Lens of Intangibility doing a lot of damage as was predicted. Hilvi is going to go for the revive, bring Carnage right back, and the block damage, of course. Nice will most likely put his buffs on. The problem is Predator will now have his A3 available to potentially block revive that Nice if he has enough accuracy, that is. Theodosia transforms. I don't like that. I don't like Theodosia transforming at this point because she should wait for the revival. He does go for the block buffs and the defense down, but I do not like that Theodosia transforming at this point. Apologies. I thought I was going to sneeze. All right, so let's continue. Hilvi goes for the removal of the buffs. Gets Theodosia. This is exactly why I did not like Theodosia changing forms, and now she's just gonna die. Block damage is not able to go through, does not have enough accuracy. He probably should have gone after that Theodosia. Probably should have gone after the Theodosia. Nice is now sealed, which means he's not gonna do a whole lot of damage, and he yet does quite a lot of damage. Marichka gets a turn. A1 counter attack, ally attack from Carnage. A1 from Hilvi. And now he's just going to go for the A1. Again, counter attack from Nice. Nice can still bring people back. Nobody's block revived just yet. The fight is definitely not over. And what is he going to do? Is he going to go? Does he have A2 available? But the problem is that seal debuff, right? Is it going to be able to kill? Yes, it is. He brings Galathier back. Does Galathier have his revive back in time? And let's see. Can he flip forms and revive? Can he flip forms? Yes, he can. And he can revive. This is a long fight, guys. He can revive. But the block... He's still not going to go for the block revive. He's going to die to the reflect damage of that Emrys. I don't know if that was a smart decision from Sammy. Should have gone for the block revive right there. Hilvi is going to bring both nukers right back, get the block damage on. Theodosia can put them to sleep with her A3. She does. This Predator is not really evading a whole lot. Look at the HP on that Nice. He has like 20% HP left. That's thanks to the Life Harvest blessing, of course. And thanks to the A2 of the Predator. This is a very long battle. Another revive comes in, brings Emrys right back. Freeze on both nukers. Predator is still fast asleep. Most likely Theodosia is now going to do the A1, destroy the speed of somebody. She goes after Marichka, gets counterattack in return, which is why Carnage is such an insane champion. And Galathier most likely is going to cleanse those nasty debuffs off. Yes, he does. And Emrys finally gets the turn. Does he have his A2, A3 available? The problem is, with that so much destroyed max HP, Emrys is not really hitting hard. And yet he block revives the Marichka. Marichka also didn't have a lot of HP left. Now Carnage, can he go after anybody with that A3? No, everybody has the block debuff. But the problem is, and a lot of people what I've noticed facing as well, if there's block debuffs, people will not go for the A3. You have to remember that even if there's block debuffs on, the A3, the third hit of the A3 also still takes off turn meter. So still is useful. Is he going to do that? I have won fights on stealing that turn meter from Galathier. No, he's going to go for the A1. He's not going to do that. Theodosia might now flip forms, or she might just try to put the block buffs on. Let's see if that ability is back. He is taking his time. This is a very long fight, 7 minutes in. She does transform. She is gonna bring back the stone skin, and A1 is the only thing available for the Hilvi. Goes after the Mercurial stack. Nice, again, very a lot of destroyed max HP over there as well. Transforms. He's gonna now try to block revive somebody, most likely the Carnage. That he does. So now it's looking dicey. Sammy has 2 champions block revived, basically. Sammy has 2 champions block revived, and that is not looking great. It's been a long fight. Galathier gets a turn. I think he only has the A1 available. Takes damage on the A1 counter attack from Predator. Embrace gets a turn. Oh, evade comes in. And he takes damage, of course, on the reflect. He will go for the block revive. Who is he going to go after? Embrace is finally dead, but so is Predator. Luckily for Sammy, he has his revive available on to bring the Predator back. Both other champions are block revive. Predator is the only thing standing over here. And on Euler's side, his Nice is the only damage dealer left. Such an incredible fight. So back and forth. A1 coming in, counterattack, Galathier dies. Theodosia, of course, still has her revive available. Nice goes for the A1 after Hilvi. And now he's going to go for the freeze. No, he goes for the A1, defense down. And now revive comes in from Theo. Predator does not have his A3 available. He's just going to A1. Hilvi's now tried to remove that. She does. And now if Predator is able to block revive that Nice, the game is over. Transformation comes in. It's going to be depend on if he's able to land this on Predator. He's not. Then that might have been the turning point. Nice. What can he do? He goes for the A2 counterattack. Dies. Still not block revive just yet. Still not block revive. Theodosia is going to go for the stone skin. Oh my god. A2 is available. He can kill off that Galathier. Still, both champions are available to be revived once Theodosia gets her skill back. Theodosia gets a turn. The problem is her unkillable is falling off and her Mercurial is down thanks to that counter attack. Defense down comes in. Mercurial comes back because she's fast enough. She cuts in. Does she have revive available? No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. And that might be it. That might be it. That revive not being available. And finally, this game is over. What a hard fought battle. Wow. That is a win for Sammy, but that was such a hard fought battle. Crazy battle. That Predator did 1 million damage. 1 million damage by that Predator. 660k by that Embrace, 412 by that Nice. I can tell you, you can add up all the HP on these 4 champions. It's not gonna sum up to 1 million. Just means there were a lot of revivals and a lot of kills multiple times. Great first game. Sammy takes it home. And we will jump into game number 2. Wow. All right, let me load up the predictions for game number 2. Sammy and Euler. Prediction polls are live, guys. Head on over. Vote for who you think is gonna win as we load up game number 2. That was a fantastic match indeed. That was a really good match. All right, I will load up game number 2 in a second. All right. Game number 2 is on. Make sure you are voting in the poll on who you think is going to win game number 2. All right, let's go. Galath here, first pick from Sammy. Again, this is game number 2, so I'm going to take a screenshot, but we're not going to bother with which champions are used 2 times just yet. We are going to look at that for game number 3. Predator and Fabian. No. Thinks more of the Fabian. Oh no, he picks Fabian after all. Euler picks the Marichka. Last time Sammy had the Marichka on his side. And he picks the Marius, the +1 6-star Marius. Carnage pick from Euler this time round, and the Crixia, interestingly. Sammy goes for the Hilvi. If Hilvi doesn't get banned here, Hilvi is not going to be available for the rest of the series. And same is true for Predator. Galathier was on Euler's team in the last round. It was a very long first game, which also means that these are very, very strong accounts who are well matched. So it becomes a lot more about strategy as well. This draft really comes into play, and you need to save your best champions for the right time. There's a lot of strategy involved, and that strategy is going to be the difference here, because in terms of skill, in terms of the accounts, they're pretty well matched from what I've seen so far in game number 1, and also what I've seen previously in the tournament. UDK pick. Okay, is that a way to counter basically the Predator or the Mesomel? But I think Predator with the Hunter's Gaze would ignore UDK, no? If somebody knows that, please let me know. If the Hunter's Gaze ignores the UDK passive. So that is the final pick from both sides. Let me note this down as well. Take a screenshot. And we will head right over into game number 3. I will close the polls in a second, guys. So make sure you have voted on who you think is going to win. Whoever has the most correct predictions at the end of the night gets a gem pack. Monthly gem pack for them as something they win. Alright, so we will head over into game number 2. And let me remove this banner down and close off the poll. Amazing display of skills and experience from both sides. I completely agree. All right, so who's getting the first turn? The Fabian gets the first turn on Sammy's side. Let's watch for the lockouts. There's resist coming in from the Marichka. Everybody else gets locked out. Marichka can go for the A2, or is she going to go for the A1? She goes for the A1. The Mercurial is gone. No, it comes back. The 1 stack on the Hilvi. Goes for the A2. Gets the freeze on Carnage and on UDK. The A1 from Marius kills the Fabian, of course. And Mesomel. Now, Mesomel is definitely not going to ignore the UDK, so UDK is going to die. But she does hit multiple times, right? So she kills both and block revives both. So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. This is going to be a fast one. After a very long first game, this is going to be a fast one. Oh, that weak hit. That weak hit, but that Mesomel ruined the day for both UDK and Marius in that one hit, because she hits multiple times. She block revive both of them, and he can bring Carnage, Fabian right back. Not that he needs it at this moment. He's just gonna go for the A1 and kills him. Of course, Carnage will come right back. He's not block revived, but he calls it. He knows it's over. A fast game number 2, and Sammy takes the lead. All these games are going one-sided so far, even though it was a very... So the first game was definitely not one-sided. This one was, and I think this was badly done on the draft. Maybe Euler also thought that UDK is gonna survive basically through the hit. I was more thinking about the Hunter's Gaze from Predator, but the hit coming in from Mezumel, of course, killed off both champions. So let me load up the board now on what we see so far. So let's look at what's available for both of our players going into game number 3. So now both Predator and Hilvi are unavailable for Sammy, which might help out Euler in the third fight. Alright, so we have Hilvi is not available to be used. Neither is Predator, because they have both been used 2 times from Sammy's side, which does give Euler an advantage because Predator has been a very, very useful champion, and so has Hilvi. In terms of the other champions, Fabian's been picked once. Galathier hasn't been picked at all from Sammy's side. He was banned in the second game. Mezumel has only had 1 showing, and Marichka has had 1 showing as well. On Euler's side, I do not see any repetitions. Maybe he was just trying to throw this second game, but after losing the first game, that does not make sense. But yeah, he has pretty much everybody available, which means Euler has a very good chance going into game number 3. Yeah. Emrys can block revive both. Yeah, that part I know. I was more thinking of the Hunter's Gaze from Predator, if that'll ignore UDK. Alright, so going into game number 3, we will have no Hilvi and no Predator available for Sammy, and Euler has anything he wants available for him. So let's see if he can use that to his advantage. I will set up the prediction for game number 3. Versus Euler, game 3. So make sure you vote there. Poll is live, guys. Head on over to Discord and vote for who you think is going to win the next game. Most correct predictions at the end of the night wins a monthly gem pack. And I will now load up the next game. All right, game 3 is on. Let's see the picks. Euler has everything available to him. Sammy does not have Hilvi or Predator available. Let's see if Sammy can carve out a win despite those choices not available, or Euler can bring it back. I think on paper, Euler has a very good chance to bring it back, because these rules do favor bringing it back essentially. And whoever wins this is going into the final against Gaijinn, a very strong player. So Galathier and Marius coming in from Sammy. Sammy's Marius hits incredibly hard. And Galathier also has a 6-star blessing, which is of course insane. Euler picks Marichka and Crixia. His Crixia got banned in the second fight, if I remember correctly. And Mezumel is still going to be Sammy's pick. She hits incredibly hard. She was the one deciding game number 2 for Sammy in killing off UDK and Marius in 1 hit. I still don't understand the UDK pick. Would love to hear Euler's thoughts afterwards on what was his strategy going in. Maybe he thought that with the stone skin he was be able to survive the single target nuke of Mezumel. Even though she ignores stone skin, no, that doesn't make sense. Maybe he thought about Predator and didn't even think about Mezumel. Emrys picked from Sammy as well, so he's picked 3 nukers and a Galathier. Euler has his final 2 picks. He hasn't picked any nukers just yet. He has everybody he wants available. Most likely he's gonna pick his Nice and his Taras, interestingly. His Nice is one of his ace champions. So he's brought out a very strong roster. He's brought 2 lockout champions, which means he's definitely going to get 1 lockout champion available. Sammy could pick a Donatello to counter that. But that Donatello can get banned, of course. Who is he going to go for? He does not have Hilby available. He goes for UDK this time. And he bans the nice, interesting ban. He allows both lockouts. I think what he's thinking is, again, this is crazy because this is now a Marichka Taurus combination available on Euler's side. I think Sammy's thinking that if he can somehow deal with that Taurus, block revive him, then the game is pretty much over. Because yes, there are lockouts, but Emrys is fine with lockout. And Mari says A1 still smacks really hard. UDK ban coming in from Euler. UDK, of course, can be problematic. For Taurus is A2. But otherwise, not sure if that's the best choice. There is the 6-star life harvest on that UDK. That might have factored into this decision. But that is going to be the final set. Let me take a screenshot of this as well. So if this goes into game 4 and 5, we have that available. Alrighty. As we head on over, let me close out the polls. What do people think? People think Euler is going to take this one. Alright. More votes for Euler. Let's see if Euler is actually going to take this fight. Let's go into game number 3. Best of 5 semi-final of the Platinum League. Crixia gets the first turn. She locks out. There's one resist on the Galathier and the other increased cooldown. So one of his skills should be available. The other, everything is locked out. Fabian is going to try again for the lockout. Yes, he is. Again, one resist. But pretty much all the buffs are removed. The banner's not gone. Apologies, this was bound to happen once. Let me start the fight once again. So lockout comes in. Marichka heal, boost turn meter. Fabian goes again for the lockout. Most likely he just wants to remove the stone skin. And now Galathier is locked out after those 2 lockouts. Is it gonna flip forms? He could. He could. That could make sense. Because again, the win condition for Sammy is straightforward. He needs to block revive that Taurus and then game is over. He's gonna go for the A3, stuns everybody, or 2 people rather. Enfeeble lands on the Taurus, which is not good at all. And Marichka's stunned. She can't cleanse really. And Crixia definitely can cleanse, but she again takes another smack. She's gonna try to go for the cleanse now. She does. And the problem is Mesomel is locked out. She can flip forms and she does put fear on the second form as well. She just wipes the board. Of course, people are going to come right back thanks to Marichka. And Emrys can now flip and he can just kill them with the A2. He's not even going to go for the A3. Fabian is left and that is it. Wow, I did not expect Euler to go down in the semifinals and in 3-0 fashion. Oh my god. That first fight was so crazy. And then the second and the third fight, super fast. Sammy takes the win, 3-0. That means let's head over to the brackets. Let's update the score here. Both semifinals have had 3-0. And now we have Gaijinn against Sammy. Both players who have knocked out their opponents with a 3-0 score as the final. So I don't have a dedicated slide for Sammy and Euler, of course, but we can kind of see over here. Sammy has now a 7-2 record, 7 wins, 2 losses, and I think Gaijinn now has 7-0 record. So Gaijinn is favored on paper going into this match, but Sammy is no slouch. Sammy is definitely no slouch. So Sammy is going to be going into the finals, and he's going to be now playing for 65 US dollars for the winning prize and $30 for the runner up. So $30 definitely guaranteed. So we are going to head into the finals. And again, I haven't watched any of these games, but I have heard from the players that it's a very good final. So I am definitely super excited about this. So as I load this up, let me start the predictions. So guys, this is the final game or the final set in the Platinum League and in the tournament. Sammy versus Gaijinn. Game number 1. Please go and vote. Head on over to the Discord. Head on over to Discord. !predict is gonna get you the link to the Discord. Oh, sorry, !predict. So head on over to Discord and vote for who you think is gonna win. Game number 1, Sammy against Gaijinn. Both very strong accounts. On paper, I think Gaijinn has the edge on paper, just how crazy of his account is with Solinar and with that Bayek. But Sammy is a very good player. We are going to see, and hopefully this is not going to be another 3-0. There's a best of 5 after all. And we will see a lot of strategy from both players. And again, given I've heard that these were really good games, I am expecting these finals to go beyond Game 3. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Make sure you do your predictions for a chance to win the monthly gem pack in the game. And I am just gonna start off this in a sec. Actually, I should update the players' names, of course. So we are watching Sammy, and this is against Gaijinn on the right. And this is the final of Platinum. And everything is set except for the score. I need to put the score to 0-0. All right, I think we're all set. Make sure you are putting in your predictions, guys, on who you think is gonna win on the Discord. And we are gonna jump right into game number 1 of the finals of the Champions League Platinum round. Best of 5 Platinum rules. Each champion can be used a maximum of 2 times. Marius pick coming in from Sammy. Gaijinn picks his Nice and his Marichka. Galathier and Predator comes in from Sammy. Bayek and Nell. He already shows up his Nell this time round. Gaijinn did not have to use his Nell in the last round. But maybe he's done his research. Maybe he's seen that Nell can be effective against Sammy, because Sammy doesn't use a whole lot of Mercurial. We know that Sammy's Hilvi does have Mercurial, but then again, they might have swapped builds. They might have changed builds. These finals took place a bit after, of course, the semi-finals. Let's see the bans coming in. Is he going to go for the Bayek ban, or is he going to go after Krixia? I think those are the most viable options for the ban. He goes after Krixia here. Maybe he's changing his mind. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. And he does go for Krixia ban, and he gets the Carnage ban, because Carnage is a great counter to Bayek, of course. And Hilvi lead against Marichka lead. So let me take a screenshot of this fight. Sammy against Gaijinn. All right, we're all set. I hope you guys have voted because I am now going to close out the polls. And let's head over to game number 1. Gaijinn against Sammy. This is going to be our finals best of 5 for the Platinum League of the inaugural SMZ Champions League. Let's go. So who's going to get the first turn? This is going to be Galathier going in. Galathier, is he just going to go for the boost? That Bayek is a threat on the opposite team, but given that there is a Marius on this side with that increased accuracy available, might be able to go over the accuracy of the opposing team. But Nell take cares of that. Nell puts poisons on, and she now basically explodes all the poisons, and Marius is dead. Of course, there are 2 revivers on Sammy's side, so Marius can be brought right back. But Bayek now gets a turn. He just goes for the A2. He doesn't go for the self buffs on the increased accuracy just yet. He's waiting. Are we going to see the revive coming in from Galathier? No, we are not. Because I think he wants to bring the revive with the block damage from Hilvi instead of Galathier. And that again, Sammy's Predator hits really hard. He has the lens of intangibility, the mythical relic. As I predicted, we see the revive coming in from Hilvi to get the block damage off. A2 coming in. Defense down is actually nasty to go for against Marius because it also decreases his damage. So there's the hallowed hilt on that Marichka. And Galathier is going to flip forms. He's going to go into form number 2. He's going to try to remove buffs. He does remove pretty much everything. Block active skills on that Bayek as well. Ooh, okay. This game has just turned around. Sammy, it might be favorable now. He's going to go for the AoE attack. He does not go for the 8-3 because he knows the poisons will proc and he's going to die. Now, block revive through the passive. Block revive through Bayek's passive comes in. Nell is dead. And with Nell dying and being block revived, that now just gives Marius room to breathe. Because those poisons are going to go away. Marius is dead once again. A2 is going to come in from Hilvi. She is able to freeze 2 champions. Of course, the block damage. Passive comes in from Marichka. Galathier is going to now try to stun, most likely, on... Is he going to able to land it? No, he's not. He just went for the A1 instead anyways. And we have Bayek coming in, taking off the Mercurial. And now he's most likely going to go for the A3, yes. And now A2, yep. Provoke coming in on the Hilvi. Galathier can still go into his second form. Predator again, not able to do a whole lot. Most likely that... Yeah, the damage wasn't there. The hit comes in, and that's weak hit on the Predator, of course. Marichka with the Hallowed Hilt gives the Fervor buff to everybody and the healing. Bayek goes for the A1, takes off the Mercurial, isn't able to do a whole lot more. Weak hit again. Nice is landing a lot of weak hits against 3 Force champions. Galathier now should flip back into his first form and try to revive the Marius. Is he gonna do that? Let's find. No, he's not. He's actually... Oh, he's thought about it. He went back and forth, and he then did go to his first form, and he will bring back the Marius. Marius does not have to deal with the Null anymore. This Predator A2 is going to hit hard, but thanks to Bayek's passive, not as hard. The game is still continuing. Freeze comes in, and so does Marichka's passive. A1, ally attack, and Bayek again. Does Bayek have anything available? No. He triggers the passive of Galathier, and now... This is the clutch moment, I think. Because now the Marius can give increased accuracy to everybody. And now the A1 comes in, Enfeeble lands, heal and boost turn meter. And Hilvi is going to go for the defense down even. And now potentially this hit can block revive. And it does. Oof. And now this A2 might just be able to clear off. Almost clears off. Almost clears off. And that is it. Nope, it's not. Zibia's Servitude on that nice. A1 Enfeeble comes in. And that Nice is still alive. And he can bring only one person back, no? If he was able to kill, but he was not because of Enfeeble. And this looks like a slow death for that Nice. We have the block revive on the Nell. We have the block revive on the Bayek. So he can only bring back Galathier, basically. Again, he's going to go for the boost. Can't really do damage because of that protected block damage. Zibia's Servitude is very difficult to get through on that Nice. He's going to try to lock him out so he doesn't get the block damage as well. He does get the block active skills locked out. And boom. That is it. Sammy takes the first game. Nice. All right. So Sammy takes the first game 1-0. But that was a good fight. Could have gone either way. Could have definitely gone either way. All right, let's go into the next one. Let me create the poll for the next. Sammy against Gaijinn. Game number 2. So here people's predictions were wrong. People thought Gaijinn is gonna take it, but Sammy very wisely killed off that Nell, and once that Nell was down, it was a matter of time before the increased accuracy from Marius came clutch, and Sammy took the fight. Is Gaijinn gonna be able to come back? Gaijinn has a very strong account. And again, you have to remember, any champion, including that Predator, is gonna be maximum used twice. So that is gonna be something that they really have to think about when they wanna utilize their best champions. So the first win from Sammy, and we will head over to game number 2 in a second. The predictions are live, so make sure you vote on who you think is gonna win. And the person who, again, as I've said previously, who gets the most predictions correct is gonna win a monthly gem pack. So go ahead and vote in the Discord who you think is gonna win. He killed Bayek without crits. I think he definitely crit. There was the increased accuracy on, so his accuracy probably went over Bayek's. He was prepared. He's watched Gaijinn's Bayek, so he was prepared. He got his accuracy high. I think that's how he did it. But now that Gaijinn knows that Bayek can be countered, Gaijinn might now go back to his trusty Solinar. Are we gonna see that? So let's see what the picks are coming into game number 2. So you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the poll for third game as well, because that 3 games are definitely gonna happen, right? So should have done that from the start for all these fights. Sammy, Gaijinn. Okay. Poll for both game 2 and game 3 are live, because again, that's definitely gonna be 3 games. Game 2 poll is split 1-1. That is quite interesting. But let's continue on the draft. Galathier drafted on Gaijinn's side. He did have Galathier picked in the first fight as well. So if he's not banned, this is the last seeing of Galathier from Gaijinn. And potentially the same thing with Bayek. Bayek was not able to provide a win from Gaijinn for game number 1. Is that gonna change in game number 2? Sammy picks Predator and he picks Hilvi. Hilvi is a very trusty champion, same as Predator. If you remember from the semifinals, Sami also used Hilvi and Predator in both first two fights. So he's gonna go and do the same thing, which means that he's gonna rely on other champions for the game 3 and potentially game 4 and 5. Gaijinn goes for the Nell, does not bring in Solinar just yet. Does not bring him just yet. Sami goes for the Marius once again. He's a very similar team to last time, except for the Marichka. Marichka was with Gaijinn on the previous fight. And Mezomel comes in. We've seen what Sami's Mezomel can do. He's gonna ban the Nell because that Nell was a bother to deal with in the last fight against that Marius. He was able to still get that victory by block reviving with the Predator. Marichka gets banned on this side. And we are ready to head into battle. I will close out the predictions in a second as I take the screenshot, so we can look at this after this fight in game number 3. Alright, we're all set to go. I hope you guys have voted. And I will close that poll and we head into this fight, game number 2 of the best of 5 finals in Platinum. Sami against Gaijinn. Alright, who gets the first turn? That first turn is gonna be with Hilvi. She's gonna try to remove buffs. The Magma Shield she can remove, but the block damage is protected on everybody. So she's just gonna go for the A1. Defense down. Galathir is just gonna remove that defense down. No, he's just gonna go for the A1. A3 this time immediately by the Bayek. He did not do that last time. And he goes for the A2 now. Does not do a whole lot on anybody. Now this is going to be interesting. We know that this Mezomel hits hard. But now Bayek Gaijinn was very smart about this. He put up that increased accuracy. Because he doesn't want to get block revived. And he has 2 block revived champions. Sami does. Mezomel. That Mezomel hits insanely hard. We saw that in the semi-finals as well. Is she gonna be able to pierce through Bayek's passive? We will find out. She will self-buff, increase attack, increase crit damage. Nope, she still takes half the health, but that passive is way too strong. Neve gets a turn. She's gonna go for the A1, gets the A1 from Marius as a counter attack. Hilvi now blocks off, and now Predator, the Lens of Intangibility Predator, very strong Predator, goes for the A2, knocks off 2 champions. Siegfried gets a turn. What's Siegfried on Gaijinn's side gonna do? No, Siegfried hasn't gotten a turn just yet. Marius gets a turn. He's gonna buff. Bayek is dead. And Siegfried's passive comes in. And now Siegfried can nuke. Boom! Kills off. Wow. Kills off the Mezomel. Kills off the Marius. And he dies on the counter attack from the Predator. There's a server connection, but that comes right back. Revive comes back in for Sami. And the block damage. He's going to try to go for the block revive. The problem is Galathir's passive. Oh no, he just goes for the A1. He wants to save the block revive. Galathir is able to revive. And now Hilvi is going to freeze everybody. And only A1 is available. He's going to go after the reviver. Is he does enfeeble landing on both Siegfried. Now he's going to go for the block revive. Does not really do a lot of damage because of Bayek's passive. And now block revive can come in because Galathir's HP is so low. I don't remember if his passive is triggered. I think it was. So block revive can potentially come in. He's not even going to self buff. No, he is. He changes his mind. Goes for the buffs. He's now going to go. No, he's flipped forms. He wants to go for the AoE hit. And he does. Wow. And Sami goes 2-0 up. Just like that. Wow. Bayek has been neutralized. Sami takes the second game. He's up 2-0. Who saw this coming? Gaijinn has had such a fantastic showing. And he's down 2-0. And today the games have been all 3-0s. so far. So is it going to be another 3-0? I really don't think so, because now Predator is unavailable, the key champion. So now that's exactly what we're going to look at. Let me flip over basically to the slide. And yeah, there we have it. So now let's have a look. Let's see what the both players have available. So we know that Hilvey is not available, right? Hilvey has been picked twice. We know that Predator is not available from Sammy. And Marius is also not available. Sammy has used a lot of good champions. And Gaijinn has not even showed his Solinar just yet. So I really don't think this is going to be a 3-0. Really don't think so. On Gaijinn's side, Bayek is the champion that cannot be used now. He's been used twice. Pretty ineffectively, I might add. And has there been anybody else? Nell was banned in the second fight, so not Nell. Siegfried and Nice have had one showing each. Marichka has been picked once. So has Crixia and Galathier. Okay, so Sammy does not have 3 champions available to use. Marius, Predator, and Hilvey. Sammy's roster is now looking bleak. Let's see what he's able to bring back in game number 3. Predictions, polls are still open for the third game. So make sure that you are voting. People are pretty split. People are split on who's going to win the third game. Make sure you head on over to Discord and vote for who you think is going to win for a chance to win the monthly gem pack if you get most predictions correct. All right, so let me set up the third fight in the background. All right, game number 3 of the final. Sammy is 2-0 up. Sammy is in a very good position to win this if he just wins this fight. The problem is Sammy has used a lot of his best champions to get here, and Gaijinn has saved his best champions till now. So I think Gaijinn can make a comeback. Let's see if he's able to do that. Marichka and Nice were his first picks in the first game. He picks them again. Gaijinn does not have bike available, and this is his life on the line, which means he is definitely bringing in Solinar for this fight. Solinar, who was that single-handedly won that third battle against Walth Vader in the semifinals. So let's see what happens here. He's taking his time. Mezomel, if she's not banned, that's the last showing of Mezomel in the tournament from Sammy's side. Gaijinn, is he gonna pick the Solinar finally? His Nell is also available because he was banned in the second round. Crixia and Solinar it is. That Crixia is also a 6-star Crixia. And she's really fast. We've seen her. Noelle was also picked by Sammy in the semifinals in the third game very effectively. Emrys also comes into play. And Gaijinn as the last pick. He has picked 2 nukers and 2 support champions. He has not picked a dedicated reviver just yet. Is that what he's going to go for? He goes for Siegfried, another nuker who can also be a reviver. So let's look at the bans. We see Solunar banned, of course, and Noel banned from Sammy's side. That is an interesting choice. Allows the Carnage in play now that Bayek is no longer there. So let me take the screenshot of this as well, so we can use this in case Gaijinn is able to bring this back. And we can go into a potential game 4 and a potential game 5. All right, we're all set. I'll close the poll in a second. And let's head on over to game number 3. Is this going to be the final game of the tournament? If Sammy wins this, it is definitely going to be the final game. All right, who's getting the first turn? That is going to be Galeth here from Sammy's side. So he's taking his time. Is he just going to go for the turn meter boost? Yes, he is. Turn meter boost, block debuffs comes in. Crexia cuts in. She is able to increase the cooldown on pretty much everybody except one ability of Galeth here. Marichka comes in and brings in the ally attack on the nice. Mezumel has to flip forms. Her A2 also, her second form also hits quite hard, we know that, and she knocks off Marichka and the Crexia. Siegfried has a 2-turn fear. It's a 2-turn fear, guys. But he's able to still go past it. Huge hit, kills off Carnage, kills off Mezumel. Emrys has to flip forms. Is he gonna go and try to go for the block revive? No, he's not. Jibia Servitude on that nice. That nice was very difficult to kill previously. Crexia flips forms. She is gonna reset, remove that nasty fear, and Galeth here is now gonna revive his team. And Crexia gets a turn once again. She is gonna put up the increased resistance. Huge nuke comes in from Nice, and he brings his champions back. And this is suddenly looking like a Gaijin comeback. Humongous smack, and that is it. No, it's not. Emrys comes right back and decreased turn meter. And the A1 count ally attack should do it. And that is it. Gaijin takes game number 3. The series is still alive. Gaijin takes it 2-1. Come back on the cards for Gaijin. Fantastic, fantastic game. Very quick game, and he was able to come back. Let's look at what champions are now available. All right, so let's see what is now available. And I'll have to make this smaller because there can be potential 5 games, right? So this, and here Bayek is banned. Well, this should be enough, no? Because we don't really need to look at for the 5th game, so one more screenshot will come in. All right, so let me place these back, and this one went on Bayek. So now let's see what's available. What's available? So this was the 3rd game. Now Mezumel is gone, right? Mezumel cannot be used. From Sammy's side, who else? Who else? Carnage has been used only once, so Carnage can be used. How about Marichka? Marichka has only been used once as well. Noel's been used once. Emrys has been used once. Galeth here has been used both times. So Galeth here is not available for Sammy anymore. Alright, so Galeth here is also not available. And now let's look at Gaijin's side. He has used his Nice 2 times. Nice is not available. Marichka is not available for sure. And Solinar, of course, is available. His Crexia was banned in the 1st game, and he did use it here. So Crexia is still available. Let's look at Siegfried. Siegfried is also not available. So this is getting interesting. They do not have access to their best champions anymore. Both of them. So Neve is available. Galathir is available to Gaijinn. Nell is available. Yeah, Solinar is available. Sammy is looking dicey. He can use Embrace. He will use Noel for sure. He can use Marichka. And he can use Carnage. So that is what I'm predicting is going to happen. Let me set up the poll for game number 4 for Sammy versus Gaijinn. Game 4. Head on over to Discord, guys, to vote who you think is going to win game number 4. If you get predictions right, you have a chance to win the monthly gem pack. So let me load up the game and we will be ready to go with game number 4. All right. We're all set. 2-1 is the score. Gaijinn has to make a comeback. He's already started with taking that last game. Are we gonna go into a game 5, or is Sammy gonna be able to close this out? That's what we are here to find out. Sammy does not have a lot of tools available to him. No Predator, no Hilvi, no Marius. Who else was there? I'm forgetting. No Mesomel as well. No Galathir. Gaijinn can pick Galathir, of course. Gaijinn cannot pick Marichka, cannot pick Siegfried, cannot pick Nice. He can pick his Solinar though. So let's see what Sammy goes for. He goes for Fabian. He hasn't picked Fabian a lot. And now Gaijinn is thinking. He's definitely picking Solinar. He again has his life on the line. He cannot lose any games, so he has to bring his best champions. The thing is, because Solinar was banned, he can be brought into the potentially both game 4 and 5 if he's not banned, but most likely he will be banned. So Predator is also a champion Gaijinn hasn't picked just yet, and he has a +2 5-star Predator. Carnage, if he's not banned, Carnage is the last time he's available, and so is Embrace, and so is Noel on Sammy's side. So if it does go into game 5, Sammy's really running out of options then. Gaijinn's last 2 picks. What supports is he gonna go for? He hasn't gone for Hilvi just yet, so we might see her pop up. We know that he has the Raglin as well that could come in. No, she doesn't. It's Neve and it's Crixia. And we will see from Sammy's side. The last champion is gonna be Marich. Wait. Wasn't Marichka banned? No. Gaijinn cannot pick Marichka. He can. Okay. All good. Solanara is gonna be the ban. From Gaijinn, he's thinking about it. He might change his mind. He might go for some other ban and allow Solinar in. If nothing else, Solinar is a pretty safe ban for Gaijinn. That's 6-star Solinar, who single-handedly won that final fight against Walth Vader in the semi-finals for Gaijinn. No, he does ban Solinar, and Gaijinn bans the lockout champion. So this is gonna be it. Again, let me take the screenshot and let me close out the poll. If you have not voted, please do so. I'm gonna close the poll in a second. And we are gonna jump into game number 4 of this best of 5 finals for the Platinum League between Sammy and Gaijinn. Alright, let me move the banner down. We are in game number 4. 2-1 is the score. Can Sammy close this out, or will Gaijinn take this to a game 5? That's what we're here to find out. Lockout comes in. Everybody gets locked out from Crixia. Marichka still has the A1 available. The Ala attack. Noel, unfortunately, is the one joining in. Galathir comes in. And Galathir is going to go for the A1 only. Doesn't need to go for any other ability. It's only one nuker on Gaijinn's side in the form of Predator, but Predator is a huge... He's a crazy nuker, right? Emrys is going to flip forms, and is he going to go for the A2 immediately, or is he going to go A3 first? He is going to go for A2 immediately. Doesn't want to use... Wow, huge hit. Kills off the knave immediately in that one blow. Carnage, unfortunately, is locked out. He's not going to be able to do much, but he can just go for the A1 on the Crixia. Crixia gets a turn, and she is going to land the decreased resistance and block buffs. Wow! Wow! That hit. Does he have Lens of Intangibility? Let's watch. I know, I don't see... It was just a normal hit from that +2 Predator and kills everybody. Of course, Marichka's passive bring them back, and revival from Galathir. There's gonna be... No, he doesn't revive just yet. Now he's gonna swap HP. Doesn't really move HP on Galathir a whole lot. Goes for the A2. Block damage proc comes in, but Neve is now dead. And Carnage is gonna go for the A1. Again, he's still locked out. Crixia most likely is now gonna flip forms, and she's gonna reset. She does, and that means this. Look at this. Carnage has 1 stack of Mercurial. Yeah, Predator hits 2 times on that A2, which means this is game over. Gaijinn comes back. Gaijinn takes game number 4. Guys, that means we are going into a best of 5, game number 5. 2-2. Gaijinn has evened the score, and we couldn't have asked for a better final. We could not have asked for a better final. This is gonna be insane. We are going into game number 5 of the final, and we have Sammy and Gaijinn running out of options on champions to use. But let's see what exactly they have available going into this game number 5. This is insane. Insanity from both players. Who is gonna win it in the end? Let's see. So, who else is not available now? Let's have a look. Let's have a look together who's not available anymore. So, Marichka has been used twice, has she? No, she was banned in game 2. No, Marichka is still available for Sammy. Emrys is gone. And who else? Carnage has been picked twice as well. So suddenly Carnage is gone as well. Noel has been picked once. She was banned. So Noel is available. Marichka is available. Noel and Marichka are both available for Sammy. Fabian is available as well. So this top row is pretty much available for Sammy. Let's look at Gaijinn. So on Gaijinn's side, he has picked Neve twice. She's not available. Solinar is still available. He's been banned twice. Crixia is also not available for Gaijinn. And Predator is still available for Gaijinn. That crazy Predator is gonna come into play. Ooh, I think Gaijinn has a good chance. And let me start the poll for the final game. Sammy versus Gaijinn. Last chance, guys, to join in to potentially get to win the monthly gem pack. This is going to be the very last game, and it has gone down to the wire. Best of 5. Game number 5 you're going to jump into. Go and head over to Discord in tournament predictions and predict who's going to win for a chance to win the gem pack. Gaijinn has just made an insane comeback to level the scores to 2-2. And now in the final game, from the looks of it, so Nell he still has available, right? She was also, let me put this on Crixia. Nell was used in game 2. She was banned in game she was used in game 1. She was banned in game 2. She hasn't been chosen just yet. So I can safely predict that Gaijinn is gonna use also, by the way, Gaijinn cannot use his Galathir, right? Galathir has been used twice. So I can safely say that Solinar he's definitely going to pick. He's definitely going to pick Predator. And he is definitely going to pick his Nell. And Sammy is gonna pick his Fabian, his Noel, and his Marichka. His damage dealers, I don't know. We haven't seen any good damage dealers left just yet. Maybe he has a nice that he hasn't showcased just yet, and he's been saving that for a game 5 in the finals. That's what we are here to see. Predictions are rolling in. People think Gaijinn is going to win. Again, make your predictions, guys, as I load up that game number 5, and we are going to get right into it. For game number 5, who's going to win the Platinum League to take the tournament and win $65 as the winner? Should be a very good final fight. We have a lot of restrictions coming in now because it's game number 5. Sammy against Gaijinn. Let's look at what the drafts are going to be for both players. Fabian, first pick, very safe pick from Sammy. He's most likely going to pick Noel and Marichka as well. Gaijinn, Predator, Solonar, Nell are available to him. Let's see what his supports are going to be. It's taking his time, thinking. Makes sense. It is a sweaty game number 5. Scores are 2-2. Gaijinn against Sammy. He picks Predator and he picks Solonar. Very safe choices. Insane champions available. Can Sammy get through that wall? He picks Noel. Most likely this pick is going to be Marichka. Most likely this Marichka. But we might see something else as well. He is thinking. He's taking his time. He's going to go for Elva. A 6-star Life Harvest Elva. We don't see Elva not at this level of play. But he's running out of options for support. So he brings in Elva. And now Gaijinn. Yeah, I said he hasn't picked Hilvi. But he also hasn't picked Carnage just yet. So he brings in his Carnage as well. Sammy hasn't picked any nukers yet. What nukers does he have available? What nukers has been saving up? He's been saving up his Cheshire Cat. What is going to be the last nuker? Harima! Harima is going to be in play. We don't see Harima very much. But she just might be the answer. That damage mitigation is insane. The final pick is going to be Raglan. He did use Raglan in the semifinals as well. It is a 9 Mercurial Raglan. Don't need to take the screenshot here. This is the final game. We are all set. Let me close out the predictions and we will be ready to go into this game. People think Gaijinn is going to win. Gaijinn is on a roll, winning the last 2 games. Game number 5, final game. The score is 2-2. The score is level. Let's see who's going to take this final game. We see 2 brand new champions from Sammy that he's been saving up. Or 3 brand new champions. Elva, Harima, and Cheshire Cat. We haven't seen them all tournament. They've come in for the first time. So it's going to be interesting. Solinar was banned. He hasn't seen any play just yet. Elva goes. She's not in protection. I thought she was in protection. She's not. She goes for the A2, puts the block debuffs, puts the increased speed. Everything gets resisted from that Hilvi. 9-piece Mercurial on both supports on Gaijinn's side. Goes for the A1. Carnage ready to take a turn. Carnage struggles against Harima. If he's not able to land the block passive skills, he's gonna really struggle. Noel tries to go after the Mercurial stacks. That Predator won Gaijinn game number 2. Game number 4 rather. He gets a turn. He's gonna go for the A3. Takes off half the health from Elva. And she immediately gets a turn. Increase her max HP. Counterattack is a weak hit. And Harima gets a turn. What is she gonna go for? She's gonna go for the A2. Takes off the Mercurial. And now she can... Nope. Huge nuke. Look at that. Cheshire Cat has been insane. Cheshire Cat cleans up. Predator is not able to resist. Kills off the Predator. Again, no evade from Predator. Revive on the Hilvi. And Noel can put block buffs. That means no Mercurial stack. Ooh. That's looking dicey. Hilvi can revive still. She does. Block debuffs, block damage comes in. Elva puts the block debuffs, and now the provoke hit can go. No, he goes for the A1, kills off the Hilvi, and it suddenly looks Sammy's in control. The heal comes in, but the max HP has been destroyed quite a bit. And now she's gonna go for the A1 once again. And huge hit. Reviver is dead. Reviver is dead despite the Jibia servitude. Wow, block damage triggered. This is looking very difficult for Gaijinn. Again, Predator alone can decide this fight, don't get me wrong. Carnage transforms. I don't think Carnage will have enough damage. He has increased attack, he has increased accuracy. Both of those buffs help in his damage on the alt form. But there is a Harima in play, and Harima mitigates damage from the demon spawn, which Carnage is from. So Carnage will not have enough damage, and he doesn't. He almost kills off the Noel, but nothing else. Now Predator gets a turn. He does not have his A3 available. A2 he goes for, is not able to do a whole lot because of that block damage coming in. And Carnage's counterattacks are not going to do much. This is looking dicey for Gaijinn. This is looking very, very dicey. Huge hit, no evade once again. The Predator from Gaijinn is not evading today. And that is it. That is it. He knows it's over. He goes for the hit once again, kills that freaking Cheshire Cat. But that is gonna be it. Sammy takes game number 5. What an incredible series. Incredible series to finish off the day. And we have the winner in Sammy. Sammy wins the finals 3-2. Fantastic series. So how it went is Sammy won the first 2 games. Gaijinn came back with the next 2, and then Sammy won the final game. The final brackets look something like this. Sammy is the winner of the inaugural Champions League Platinum Edition. Fantastic showing. I couldn't have asked for a better final, to be honest. Gaijinn played so well throughout the tournament, and he had a great showing in the final as well. Unfortunately, he fell off in the final, and I think it's going to come down to that Predator not evading anything in the final game. But what a fantastic showing from Sammy. I was scared for Sammy looking at what he had available. He used his best champions at the start. He got punished for it in games 3 and 4, but he had a trick up his sleeve. He was saving for the final game the Harima that he had built and the Cheshire Cat. And that strategy, guys, that strategy is exactly why I put in these rules. For people to think of these underused champions, to think of these strategies of saving your champions. Sammy could have shown his Harima first or his Cheshire Cat. He didn't. He saved her for the last fight, both of them. And then they were able to bring it home. What a fantastic showing. Many congratulations to Sammy. Great win. Great showing from Sammy. Fantastic. Again, I'm going to reach out to all winners and the finalists for the prize pool, most likely tomorrow. But fantastic showcase. I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. Also, while you're all here, I would really appreciate if you head over to Discord, especially the players, also the viewers, on how everything was. Go ahead into tournament feedback and please provide feedback. I want to make this better. I know I'm a small channel right now, not a lot of people here. I want to make this into a bigger thing. I want to make this in a way that it's also better matched for everybody, so we see less of the 3-0s, the 2-0s, and that will happen over time. This was the first tournament. I really appreciate everybody who joined in, basically. Given that I don't have a lot of credibility as a caster and organizer, so I really appreciate everybody who joined in. And we're going to make this better. We're going to improve things significantly for the next one, and I will need your help in doing so. So please provide your feedback how we can make this better. If it makes sense to change the system to a round robin instead of single elimination bracket, happy to take all of that feedback. But this was fantastic. I really enjoyed the tournament. I hope you guys did as well, and I would appreciate feedback of all kinds if you did. But this was fantastic. Thank you very much to everybody joining in. Really appreciate it. Hoof. All right. Oh, I was gonna check quickly if I can do some live arena now, but it might be too late. Yeah, it is. All right. So I skipped my live arena for today. That's fine. We can catch back up. Sitting on 900 points. That's not bad at all. All right, then I might just call it here, guys. Thank you very much. Really appreciate everybody being here. Was a fun tournament. Fingers crossed that I'm able to host another one sometime soon. Can't say exactly when. Might take a bit. Not the easiest thing to organize because I don't like organizing just, just randomly doing it in one night. No, I like to build a story. I like to build those visuals and everything, and that all takes time. And I want to run a tournament that's also good for the players. Also with like these offline battles help in scheduling and everything. So let's see. I'll think about it and see when I can get back to this. But I'll call it here. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good rest of the evening, and I will hopefully see you next time. Thank you.